Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to y'all. Good to see you. What's up, Stone Rain Productions? Hey, what's up, Jim? How are you? How was Mog Monday this week? Did you pick up the win with the goblins? Zelda Zach, Lord Finn, Johnny, Variant, Dylan Hunter, Turtle Ether. How's everyone doing today? We are historicing again today because historic's actually really fun right now post bannings, and you don't play against Elrond's Epiphany quite as often, so we got a couple of spicy historic decks. I really want to try this deck, which probably a meme or dream deck. It's one of the platinum mythic rank players decks. Ooh, Moth Goblins, interesting. Were you playing historic? I saw oh no, someone on my Twitter was posting a historic goblins list that was playing Broodmoth and like still had Muxus, but it was like a combo goblin list with Broodmoth and a bunch of sacrifice stuff. It actually looked really interesting. As far as goblins in historic go, the Broodmoth build looks way spicier than the just like turbo Muxus build, which I think it was Autumn. I think it might have been Autumn. I caught the deck list, but I can't remember whose Twitter was from, but Autumn sounds correct. So how's everyone doing today? What's up, Dirty Dad? So today we're historicing. We're gonna start with this Lier Dreadhorde deck, which actually looks kind of spicy. No idea if it's actually good, but the plan is actually pretty cute with this deck. It's like a mass reanimation pseudo combo self-mill Lier Gideon sacrifice shenanigan reanimator style deck. So we're gonna start with that. As a backup, someone asked about shamans yesterday, so shamans is on the backup list. I just love playing shamans, so if we end up playing more shamans, I'm super fine with that. This is a build very similar to the one that we played before. The mana base seems fine, I guess, but someone also played this and got published on Wizard site, and we still have Mono Red Madness that we haven't gotten to yet. So we have a few historic options, but we're starting with Lier Command the Dreadhorde to see what happens. Yeah, the idea of this is actually pretty cute. I think, from what I can understand, the idea of this deck is fill the graveyard, hopefully with Tamios and with Cavalier of Thorns, and then what we're trying to do is use Lier, maybe from Burial Rites, to get it back so we can, for 1 mana, Gideon Sacrifice. So then we can command the Dreadhorde for as much damage as we want. The damage is going to get redirected to something. Hopefully this will get back enough stuff between Tamios and Cavaliers and Risen's Reefs that we empty our entire deck and we get back a Jace, and the Jace can tick up to draw a card, and then we win by not having any cards in our library. So it's kind of like, I don't even know, a weird Thassa's Oracle style reanimator flashback deck. It's so funny because Lier's in this deck and we have like 3 spells. We have Gideon Sacrifice, we get Command the Dreadhorde, we got Burial Rites, which already flashes itself back, so it kind of doesn't count, and then Assassin's Trophy. This is the most spell light Lier deck that I have ever seen in my entire life. So I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it. It's kind of a pretty sweet idea to reanimate everything all at once. So yeah, that's the plan for today. As a longtime Goblins player myself, I'll watch you play them at me. Hey, Jim, do you do Legacy Goblins? Or do you not do, you play Legacy? I know you play Legacy, right? Do you ever do Legacy Goblins for Mog Monday? Anyway, let's do our reminders, talk more about this deck, start playing some Magic, then we can talk about Goblins, we can talk about Historic, we can complain about Elrond's Epiphany, whatever y'all want to do. So, replay YouTube, that's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one in the future normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on the YouTube. Today, there's some Crim action. I believe a historic video. There's a pretty funny short from Phil that went up today. Tomorrow, actually really hyped about tomorrow's Against Odds card. Tomorrow, we are playing Stuffy Dow. We played Stuffy Dow 5 years ago for Against Odds, but so much has changed in the past 5 years. There's so many cards that did not exist last time we played Stuffy Dow. Plus, I think I've gotten slightly better at building decks in the past 5 years. So yeah, tomorrow's deck is actually really sweet. If you want some sweet modern action, I'm pretty happy with how the Stuffy Dow Against Odds turned out. So that's going up tomorrow. I'm hyped about that one. Otherwise, a reminder that our sponsor today, 100 episodes. That's actually kind of insane, Jim. I didn't realize you've been doing it for that long. That's very impressive. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some Innistrad Midnight Hunt cards, or maybe an Unsanctioned Swamp, or a Old Border Yogg, or maybe an Eldrazi Monument, which I think Eldrazi Monument is critically, I think it's very underplayed in Commander. I feel like Eldrazi Monument is a card that so many times I'm building a deck and I think I should play Eldrazi Monument, and then it's like the last card that I cut. I feel like Eldrazi Monument in creature decks is probably actually really, really good. Like, obviously you need to go wide and have stuff to support it, but I feel like this should probably be played more in Commander. And you can get that over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want what they'll hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, help clean out Richard's garage. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. And those are reminders. So let's talk about this deck. So what are we trying to do with this deck? This deck is pretty wonky. We got Risen Reef for some reason, along with only one other elemental. We got some ramp in the early game, but the main plan of this deck, what we want to do is hopefully get cards in our graveyard. To do this, we don't have too many cards. We have Cavalier of Thorns, we have Tamiyo to fill our graveyard. Also, Jace can help us fill our graveyard. What we're trying to set up is Lier flashing back stuff from our graveyard. And what we want to do is get to 7 mana so we can Lier Gideon's Sacrifice, one of the most unique cards that they print in a while, essentially redirects all the damage that's dealt to you to one of your creatures or planeswalkers for a turn for a single mana instant speed. So we can flash back the Gideon's Sacrifice, target Lier, target whatever, doesn't really matter, and then we can flash back Command the Dreadhorde to reanimate as much stuff as we want. We're going to take a ridiculous amount of damage, but that doesn't matter because all that damage is going to get redirected to our creature that it's going to die, but that's fine. So we get back everything. Hopefully that means a bunch of Cavaliers to mill, a bunch of Risen Reefs to draw, a bunch of Jaces, a bunch of Tamiyos, well, one of each because they're going to legend roll, but you know what I mean, get back a whole bunch of stuff, and then tick up Jace, draw with an empty library, win the game. So kind of combo Reanimator Lier with only 3 spells that don't have flashback in our entire deck, and sideboard, a bunch of removals, some counters, and a bunch of Cerulean Dregs, which I actually have no idea what we got for Cerulean Dregs. Is red actually that problematic? Like, are there that many red decks? I guess there are a decent amount, but still, 4 Cerulean Dregs really going deep on the red deck, and that's Lier Dreadhorde. And we might turn it up as we go along. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it because the plan is pretty interesting. Isn't Eldrazi Monument underplayed? I feel like it really is. I feel like Eldrazi Monument should be played way more than it is in Commander. It's hard to play and constructed. Like, 5 mana is a lot in 60 card formats, but in a format like Commander, I think you should see play more. Can you play this deck? Can you play this deck this night? Oh, wait, what deck? Crinkle? Oh yeah, we're not losing to mono red. We're not losing to mono red. That much is for sure. So how's everyone been? Wait, how's the damage redirected? So the key card in this deck is Gideon's Sacrifice, a card that's actually, it's a really spicy card that doesn't really have a home anywhere, but it's really sweet. 1 mana, choose a creature or planeswalker you control. All damage that's dealt to you and to your permanence this turn is dealt to that instead. So essentially we sacrifice a creature to soak up all the damage to all of our stuff for a turn, which means we can command the Dreadhorde for as much as we want. Any number doesn't matter because it's all going to be dealt to the creature anyway. Also, speaking of Stuffy Doll against odds, sweet Stuffy Doll card. I think that's one of the funniest ways to win with Stuffy Doll, or Brash Taunter for that matter, is maybe we build a Brash Taunter deck with Gideon's Sacrifice. I think it would actually be hilarious. You just like play Brash Taunter and then you try to get your opponent to attack you, and then you Gideon's Sacrifice and redirected all the Brash Taunter. I kind of love Brash Taunter. Brash Taunter is such a sweet card. Ooh. All right, I mean, we'll keep this. Unfortunately, we have double Triome, so little slow with the mana dorks, but resiliency. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Love all the new dog. Oh my goodness, Bearby. Is this deck gonna turn to a YouTube video? I can't stick around, unfortunately. So yes-ish. All of the streams go on the replay YouTube. So yeah, if you ever miss a stream, you go to the replay YouTube. They go up like a day after the stream, give or take. Hey, what's up, Doug? How are you? Good to see ya. So yeah, it will be up on the replay YouTube. Drown in the Lock. All right. Well, that'd be a problem if we actually had cards in our graveyard, which we will eventually. Grixis Delver. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more Delver action in Historic yet. Winged Words, okay. Opponent hits us. Lands, maybe? That is a land. Huh. Well, I mean, I guess we just play a land and play a Tamiyo, and take up a Tamiyo, and name Assassin's Trophy, maybe? Alright, with mill a bunch of cards. Opponent untaps. Ooh, we got the sacrifice, and we got the command the Dreadhorde. If we can get enough mana, we can try to pull off the combo. We might be able to pull off the combo. Is this against odds? I mean, not exactly against odds. This is a reanimator combo deck. I don't think. Haha, got him. I don't think it really counts as control. We don't have enough. Ooh, that's not bad. I don't think it counts as control. We don't really have control stuff. Like, we don't have counter spells. We hardly even have removal spells. So I wouldn't really consider it control. All right, how do we do this? Boom. Boom. Get a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Take up Tamiyo. Name. Assassin's Trophy still? Please? Oh my god, we can't hear removal. Now your mommy! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, opponent taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're getting close. We're getting close to the combo. We're getting there. Opponent's probably going to kill the Cavalier. Drown in the lock. So does anyone know how this works with a creature that dies? It probably doesn't work, right? Does that fizzle it? Dirty Sanchez handing out the gift subs to Johnny the King Cat and Akram. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it'll fizzle if the creature dies, right? That seems likely. All right. So, well, Cavalier dies. We are going to not exile because we want to reanimate. We're going to decline. All right. Opponent has a lot of counters, which is scary. Danilith, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, opponent. Scryland. Ooh, to the top. That's a bad direction. Goes to combat. Kills Tamiyo. Hits us. Oh. Yep. Oh.
I will not
opponent. Tap out, please. They do not. Well, there's our Assassin's Trophy. Well, let's Unburial Rites for a Cavalier. No counters? Ooh, okay, Cavalier returns. That is big. We might actually get this combo set up. It might actually happen. Opponent going to Brazen Borrower the Cavalier. Okay. Get a Woodland Cemetery. Mill some cards. 30 in the deck. Well. Pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Actually, you know what? We don't got to do this now. Pass the turn. We just want our opponent to tap out. I believe it says this card. Wait. I believe it says in the card this creature needs to remain on the battlefield. It might. Oh yeah. It does say it. Reading the card does explain the card. Good call about the reading. Opponent gonna draw some cards. Oh, we're set up to have the big turn next turn if we can get through the counters. And that's a big if. That's a big if. Counters and also removal to some extent. It's going to be close. It's going to be super expressive iteration. Okay. Okay. We might be going for it. We might be going for the big reanimation. So, how's everyone been since yesterday? Did you have a good Tuesday evening or Monday evening? Today's Tuesday. I kind of want to see this happen. It'd be so sweet. Opponent gets a mountain. Plays a land. Goes to combat. Well, killing the Kobolas. Okay. Well. Here we go. Here we go. How much are we getting back? There's the command. Okay. So we get a Tamiyo, a Cavalier, Oh my god, that's depressing. That's nowhere near enough to win the game. Do we even do it? Leo's do and Jeremy, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for my your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Oh, sick with the flu. That's not good. Ooh, what were you playing in Modern, Lord Boys? 4th is a good finish. Do you currently have a paper commander deck, and what is it? I have like three-ish paper commander decks. Hang on, we got to figure out this turn. How do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can reanimate. We're just not getting much back. Not even necessarily getting enough back to do anything. Well, Cavalier of Thorns again, I guess. Woodland Cemetery. Oh, there's the Lier. We're so close. Are we dead? Probably. Paradise Druid. Past the turn. Oh, Delvers. So in paper I have a Marchesa deck. I have a Marchesa deck, and I have a... Do you have another counter? Come on, Crim. No more counters. I have a Marchesa deck, I have a Chulane deck, and I have a Brago deck. Mostly Panharmonicon style decks. Alright, well. Alright, everything's going to the Paradise Druid. Opponent can take our Risen Reef. Oh, this does mean that we lost our Gideon Sacrifice, which isn't great. Opponent. So they can't kill us this turn because of Sacrifice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't flip the Nicol Bolas because... Oh god. Okay. Sure. Command the Dreadhorde discarded. And... Well, they can't get back to Kroxa. Yet. Galazeth Prismari. That's a lot of flyers. Kill the Nicol Bolas. Untap. Oh, this deck. All right. So play Lier. Actually, maybe do we reanimate? Maybe we reanimate Lier. Yeah, that's better. Let's reanimate Lier. Reanimate Lier. Wait, why are we paying 3? I'm so confused. What are you doing, Arena? All right, reanimate Lier. Okay, there we go. So get back a Lier. We're back in full control mode for some reason. Pass the turn. No attacks. We're staying alive. Okay, so we got the Lier that lets us flashback Gideon Sacrifices. Opponent. And it lets us flashback Assassin's Trophy. Opponent does not have that many cards. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Okay, so we block Galazeth. And then we Assassin's Trophy. The Delver. Opponent. They didn't have a counter last turn. Okay. Runs out a Brazen Borrower. Sure. That is a legal play. Oh my goodness. This might be happening. We might still be getting there. Do we have enough in the graveyard yet? We got a Risen Reeve. Still haven't found a Jace. I mean, maybe Lier's just gonna do it on its own to kill the Galazeth. About it. Probably getting back Croxa. Wow, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, Siege Rhino would be so sweet in this deck. There's the Croxa. Well, we will discard the Lier. Untap. Is this enough? What do we get back? Oh, we need more cards in the graveyard. I mean, it's not a bad amount of reanimation. All right, we untap. We draw a Risen Reeve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, do we just do it? Do we just do it? Oh, that's right. We can get our opponent. Oh my god, we definitely do it. I forgot that Command the Dreadhorde gets both graveyards. You're right. So, Gideon Sacrifice. We will target... We will target the Llanowar Elves. Okay, we're going for it. We're going for it. If they have a counter, they have a counter, but we're going for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's going to be so sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Command the Dreadhorde. With Lier from the graveyard. 1. We're going all the way. There is no fear. Our graveyard. One of you, one of you, one of you, one of you. I guess we only need one Tamiyo. One of you, one of you. Yeah, 8. Let's go for 8. Oh! It worked! Beautiful! Get the treasure, get the big board, get the Tamiyo. So good! So good. Opponent discards. We get another land. We still have a Gideon Sacrifice left over. We will... How many cards are in our deck? 15. All right, take up Tamiyo. Jace. Welder of Mysteries. Come on. Weld us a win. Whiff. Past the turn. I can't believe this is working. I can't believe it's working. Pass the turn. I mean, I think we're in good shape now. I think we're in pretty good shape. Opponent untaps. We can even flip the Nicol Bolas because of the treasure, and opponent scoops it up. That was good. That was good. That actually worked. If they have a counter, they have a counter. You're overthinking. I know, words of wisdom. There's only 2 Gideon Sacrifices in the deck. Yeah, I mean, so this is not a deck we built from scratch. This is the Platinum Mythic Ranked Player Classic. So we didn't build the deck. We didn't build it. I assume the thinking is we're gonna fill the graveyard, and we're going to be flashing it back from the graveyard anyway. We don't want to draw a handful of Gideon Sacrifices, but it is really kill. Why did they not kill the elf? Wait. Oh, what did they... I didn't actually pay attention to what they discarded. Wait, can you not flip someone else's Bolas? No. No, the opponent gets it? I don't think I've ever flipped someone else's Bolas before. Does it come back into play under the opponent's? Oh dear. Wow, that would have been a hilarious way to lose the game. Yeah, I mean, they could have eliminated the elf and fizzled it. I think we probably want Mystical Disputes. What we cut, I have no idea. Mystical Disputes out. I feel like we need all of our combo pieces. Tamiyo's fine. Ugh. There's not much to cut, honestly. Maybe we can trim a land. We do have a lot of lands. We have 26. We can probably go to 25. Go like, oh, all right. Trim, trim, and trim. How about that? Run it like that. I think you would have died had they killed Elf. Yeah, well, we wouldn't have died, though, because we had another Gideon sacrifice. So worst case, we could have cast the other Gideon sacrifice on the Cavalier. So we still would have been fine. But, yeah, normally, if we didn't have the other sacrifice, that would actually just beat us. I think Reef is good. I think we want the card advantage against this deck. King O'Sharks, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so the second Gideon sacrifice had us covered. Well, speaking of Gideon... Oh, actually, wait. They didn't take the Mana Dork? Okay. In that case... we'll play Llanowar Elves. Go. Oh, I wonder what other... So what other cool things can you do with Lier? Lier's a pretty interesting card. What else can we do with Lier in Historic? Also, by the way, I think I'm addicted to Xanathar. Xanathar is so sweet. Xanathar... Why does no one play Xanathar? Why does Xanathar see no play in Standard, no play in Historic, no play in anywhere? Why is Xanathar unplayed? Because it's such a sweet card. In Standard, I figure it's probably just like Epiphany's fault. It's always Epiphany's fault. It's probably just like not quite as good. Oh, wait. Hang on. Was I punning with Lier, too? Does Lier prevent any spells from being countered? Oh, it can't. It does. Oh. I don't even know what we're worried about. It's not just that we can't counter spells. It actually stops our opponent from countering spells, too. Well, Paradise Druid. Been a minute since we've seen a Paradise Druid. 6 mana is a lot. That is true. 6 mana is a lot in Historic. What about Standard? Why doesn't it see play in Standard? I understand what you're saying now, with all the memes about counters. Lier is the best blue card ever because no one can counter spells. Yeah, I remember during spoiler season talking to Krim about it, and Krim hated Lier, mostly because Krim loves his counters, and he was like, I'd never play that in a control deck. Like, my control decks are all about countering spells. There's no way I would play this, even though it generates a lot of value. Ooh, Archon of Cruelty. Historic doesn't have Archon of Cruelty yet. Not quite. I do wonder if the deck wants more graveyard fillers. Like, we kind of got there last game, but the deck does not have that many ways to just get cards in the graveyard. It's actually pretty slow at filling the graveyard. About it. Passes. Also, the deck could probably use Thoughtseize somewhere. All right, what are we doing here? It would be nice to get on a Planeswalker. Well, let's untap land. Ooh, Tameo, don't counter it. No negates. We need a Lier to stop our opponent's counters. Maybe that's the main purpose of Lier. It's not to flashback spells. It's to stop our opponent from negating all of our sweet things. Yeah, I mean, you can play it with like Divide by Zeros. There's things that essentially counter spells that don't actually counter spells that work really well with Lier. Opponent. Pathway. And oh, so I had this brilliant idea, chat. What do you think of Scratch and Sniff Secret Lair Drop? The real question is, let's say they make a Scratch and Sniff Secret Lair Drop. So you can scratch the card and actually smell it. You know what Scratch and Sniff is, right? So let's say they make a Scratch and Sniff Secret Lair Drop. What would be the best card to be included? And what would be the worst card? It would be pretty sweet, right? I'm sure some cards, there's a lot of Magic cards that I probably wouldn't want to Scratch and Sniff, but there's some that I would. Putrid Imp, yeah, that's a good one. Gravecrawler, I'm sure smells absolutely horrible. The Cheese Stands Alone, is that good or bad though? Oh, this is rogue. What is our opponent's deck doing? Our opponent's just playing random evasive creatures. All right. Flyers that I own. Well, they fill the graveyard for us, which is good. Old Stinky Fingers. What would be the best? What about the other side? What would you want to smell? You can. There's a Black Lotus. A Black Lotus probably smells insane, right? Plus, then you get a Black Lotus in your Secret Lair Drop. That seems like a win for everyone. We will discard Gideon's Sacrifice. Opponent gets in, hits us, mills a couple of cards. Oh, come on. Blue mana for Jace, please. Black mana, not for Jace. So, well, I guess we got Assassin's Trophy. Somehow we have like 8 mana, but we cannot cast a Jace. Very awkward. Ginger Brew, the Biblioplex. You like the smell of old books? Witch's Oven. I think people would buy it. I think Wizard would make a lot of money if they sold Scratch and Sniff flare drops. I think that's the direction Magic is heading. Like, we all know what the cards do. We know what they look like, but we don't know what they smell like. That is untapped market. Think of all the potential dollars that Wizards could be making. Opponent hits us to 13. I'd love to get down this Jace. Well, let's play a Cavalier. No counters, please. Opponent. I don't like this delay. No, no, no. All right. Opponent hates fun. We will... I don't even think we attack with both. We'll hit you with the Llanowar. We do got to worry about this. All the Storm Giants coming. I mean, booster packs are technically... Ooh, nice. What is our opponent's deck? Just like stuff. Grixis things. Opponent finally out of cards, but it's a bit late. We're gonna have to hit something good now or we're dead. Ugh. Well, there's a blue mana. Boom. Jacerino. I still think we're likely dead. Mill some cards. Draw nothing. Pass the turn. We're running out of time. Ugh. Nighthawk Scavenger's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Opponent goes to combat. Kills the Jace. Hits us. Oh, we haven't even milled over any of our flash. Oh, another Cavalier down. Counter spells. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat the Crim deck here. Forest woods. What basic land would smell best? Island, mountain, swamp. Definitely not swamp. Plains. This is a depressing time for Command the Dreadhorde. Is there a way we can command the Dreadhorde without immediately killing ourselves? And stopping all of our opponent's stuff. Oh, we just don't, we need the sacrifice. If we had the sacrifice, I don't think there is. Well, okay. We're gonna do it our way. We will not let our opponent kill us. Not happening. Boom. Got him. Well, that's a nice thing about this deck. We can always do that. To avoid actually dying to our opponent. Well, opponent's got a lot of just random flying creatures. Deck. As much as we like our opponent milling us, ooh, 100 subs, congratulations, Doug. That's awesome. Mirage Forest must smell good, yeah. All the Mirage basic, even the Mirage Swamps look like they smell good. All the Mirage basics smell wonderful. All right, I guess we'll keep this. It's okay. Llanowar Elves, go. Oh, about it. Oh boy, Delver of Secrets. Well, Triumph. Go attacking. Oh, opponent does not take the... No, come on, no Delver luck. No. Oh. Oh, when Delver flips on turn 1, it's so good. How would Enter the Infinite smell? I would imagine there's just no smell at all. Nothingness. The smell of nothingness. Well, Triumph. Having to kill a Delver with an Assassin's Trophy. Opponent's got a lot of creatures in their deck, too. They have a lot of creatures. Oh my god, another one. What? How did they flip this Delver? How did they flip the Delver? How is this even possible? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I know. Isn't that how Delver works? Delver always flips turn one in the blind for your opponent. Never flips. Never flips for you. That's just how Delver works. That is that is how the card is made. Opponent. Smells like, oh wait, can you actually smell ozone? That was nice of us to give our opponent the land they needed to cast their Nicol Bolas. It's not looking good at the moment. Opponent gets in, hits us. Mills a couple things. We draw a land that doesn't do much. Play a Jace. Tick it up. It's gonna die, unfortunately. Draw even more lands. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, maybe we're only gonna get one good game out of this Magic. Yeah, well, Fizzle the Inquisition, got him. And about it. Thinking about blowing up a land for no apparent reason. Sure. Well, that's fine. Oh, I can't believe we ramped them into the Nicol Bolas. All right, Command the Dreadhorde would be good. We would not mind drawing Command the Dreadhorde. Opponent. Gonna hit the Jace. Gonna hit the Jace. Jace is gonna die. Mill some card draw.
Your victory is just an illusion.
Assassin's Trophy. Well, yeah, Nicol Bolas again. Oh, we've given our opponent so many lands. Enter the Infinite would be such an overwhelming combination of every smell that it would be incomprehensible to any mortal nose. Either that or frosted mini wheats. Well, what is the best breakfast cereal? Really now? Oh, Grixis pile. We're getting this Grixis pile is super obnoxious. Opponent, Temple of Deceit. And there's a counter in hand, so even if we draw something good, we know it's getting countered because our opponent has Drown in the Lock. Mill some lands, mill some Liers, and some Cavaliers, and our opponent hits us. Booberry? Count Chocula. Count Chocula. It's been a long time since I've had Count Chocula. The ones with... this was assuming... Oh my god. We don't even have the green mana for this. Yeah, we're just... we're dead no matter what we do. We play this untapped, they counter it, we're dead. We don't play this, we're dead. We're just dead. Seamstress, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Grixis, is that great? I mean, I guess it was Grixis Flyers. I don't know about Soaring Thought Thief in a deck with not rogues. I don't know. That was just a weird pile of cards. I think it's Grixis Flyers that I own, really. The breakfast cereal to put fluid on is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Ooh, I like my Cinnamon Toast Crunch without fluids. I think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is top tier breakfast cereal. If you don't mind the sugary cereal, but no milk, no fluid. You can't have fluid on that. It is really rough with the deck's current mana base. I doubt there's a mana base that would really make it consistent, but could help with some draw filtering like Faithful Mending to help the deck out. I mean, Faithful Mending is a powerful card, that's for sure. I like Faithful Mending a lot. I think, yeah, this deck is very weird. And I'm not sure... It's very scattered. It feels very scattered. I think the combo is cool, but I'm not sure how to make it more consistent. Faithful Mending, I think, would be good. There's two questions. One is, can we make the mana work? And the mana's already pretty janky, so maybe that doesn't matter. The other question, though, is... what do we cut? Like, how do we... Oh, boy. Here comes the aggro. All right, can we keep up with mono? Can we keep up with mono white? About it in the tank for some reason. Withered all his bodyguard. What about ooh, a bunch of gift subs Well, untap land, Llanowar Elves, go. Seamstress handing out gift subs to Fundy Bear, Mike Golia, Swundawu, Darth, and Superwill. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. And a Seamstress for handing them out. Big scoops here for you. Interesting general question. Is Standard better when the mana is good, bad, or just okay? I think it depends. I think that Standard is at its best when we go through periods of good and bad mana. So I think bad mana pushes players towards playing monocolor decks. Hey, what's up, Smias? How are you? Good to see you. It has been a minute. Good to have you back. So in Standard, bad mana pushes players towards monocolor decks, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think Standards where monocolor is supported and popular, I think that's actually a good thing sometimes. But that gets old after a while. Good mana in Standard lets you play really powerful decks. Like you have 3-color decks, 4-color decks, 5-color decks, but it has a tendency to devolve into decks just playing the best cards in the format, because if the mana is too good, then you can just play anything, and you can splash a Siege Rhino in your Jeskai deck or whatever, which isn't a bad thing, but that also gets tiresome after a while. So I think Standard's at its best when the mana is, you know, bad, and people have to play monocolor decks, and it gets good, and you play whatever you want. So I think the change is the most important aspect. I think there's upsides and drawbacks to both good and bad mana. I think there's upsides and drawbacks to both good and bad mana, but the most important thing is the change. Standard strength is that it's always changing, is what I'm hearing from the answer. I mean, I agree. I want Standard to change more, actually. I feel like one of Standard's weaknesses lately was... I think that's just an automod thing, Care. Just a Twitch thing. I think one of Standard's weaknesses lately has been not enough change. I think that was a problem with Eldraine Standard. The problem with Eldraine Standard wasn't so much that Eldraine was overpowered, even though it was overpowered. The problem was it was overpowered and it didn't change for 2 years. And by the end of those 2 years, everyone was just super sick of it. That's why I would like to see more rotations. That's why I'm a big believer in having more rotations in Standard. I would like to see more change. I want to see the new sets come in and shake things up. I want to see the format be evolving and changing, because the worst aspect of Standard is when it's the same thing for a million years in a row. When it's, oh my god, Lovestruck Beast, same thing for 18 months, same thing for 24 months in a row. That's what makes people not want to play the format. Oh, this is not even going, I mean... So they're not even going close to well. I mean, I guess we're up against Aggro on the play, but we're just... Oh boy. This one might be a meme. This one might be a meme. Yeah, I mean, Standard 2022 is a good example of that. It pushed players into playing monocolor decks, which I think is good, or some 2-color decks, but it really made players stay away from 3 to 5-color decks. You just couldn't do it because the mana was so bad. And I think that was fun for a while, but it does get old after a while, because then you see, oh, it's mono green again, it's mono white again, the same few decks, and you wanted to be able to do different things, but you weren't able to do those different things because the mana just couldn't support it. I think that having a year-long Standard with mana that was on the level of Standard 2022 would get miserable. I think players would absolutely hate it. I think that would be very, very unfun. But having it for a few months and then having a new set come out and greatly improve the mana, I think that's a good thing. And that is what we want to have happen, is just the change in the churn. Getting sacrifices to combo with Command the Dreadhorde. Oh boy. So far we've got to do the thing once. How does Platinum Mythic rank player keep getting 6 wins in a row with decks like this? How is that possible? How is it possible? Have we come to a consensus on those deck lists that Wizards published? Is there a consensus? Is it just a lie? Are we leaning towards lie? Are we leaning towards so many games are played that weird things happen on a weekly basis? Do we lean towards incompetence? I guess that would be the other side of lie. That, not that it's a outright lie, but Wizards doesn't know how to program a website or whatever. Thalia goes attacking. Well, go, Risen Reef. Okay, Paradise Druid goes to combat. Oh, Faceless Haven. And 6 concedes. I've never had that happen though. Like, have you ever played Arena and had 6 people concede you in a row? I feel like that's actually super unlikely. I've never experienced that. Like, occasionally someone concedes to you, but I have never gotten anywhere close to 6 different people conceding in a row. What do you think about werewolves in current standard? Do you think it requires Ren and 7 for the tempo or not really? I don't think you have to have Ren and 7, although, oh boy, here they come. I don't think you have to have Ren and 7, although I do think that Ren and 7 with Azeka's Chariot is one of the more powerful synergies in standard at the moment. All right, taking a beating. Down to 8. The unfortunate part about this is there's still a Faceless Haven. Who would have thought Faceless Haven would end up being like one of the best cards in multiple formats? That card's so good. Like, speaking of reasons to play monocolor or close to it decks, Faceless Haven is, it looks like a bad Mutavault, but it's actually absurd. Like, look at our hand. We can't stop it. We can't beat it. We can't stop it. Ooh, so Paradise Druid Chump Block, I guess, is the current game plan. Pass the turn. Coming on the Dreadhorde's a bit of mana, isn't it? Luminarch Aspirant. About it. Giant Killer. And we can't Wrath because we die to the Faceless Haven. Ooh. Oh dear. Oh, another Tamiyo. Ooh, and this is death. All right, we're gonna do one more match with this, and then we are going to see if we can make this deck actually be able to win 6 matches in a row. Because I feel like as it currently is, oh boy, this might be meme or dream level. This might not be a streamable deck. This might be more of a you know, can you win a match with it over the course of 10 matches type deck. It costs no mana, so it's totally fair. I mean, I don't think that Faceless Haven is unfair. I didn't mean to suggest that. It's just a much stronger card than I think I expected it to be. It's actually like a legitimate tournament playable creature land, even outside of standard. Not quite to modern, but it's actually like a legitimate card. Is there Storm in Historic? Sort of. There are Storm cards in Historic, but the Storm decks are a lot different than like in Modern, because you don't have rituals or spells. So a lot of the ways you storm off is like Grinning Angus, stuff like that, Runaway Steamkin. So a lot of times it's more of like creature-based decks rather than slinging a bunch of rituals. Are we winning? We're having fun, Max, but we won a game. We did get a good command of the Dreadhorde and win a game. As far as winning a match, no, not yet. It's coming. It's coming. This is the one. This is the one. Yeah, so there's like unique ways to storm off, but yeah, like the traditional like Legacy or Modern Storm style deck, that style of Storm deck doesn't really exist just because there's no rituals. There's not rituals in the format to really play that style of Storm. So there's decks that win with a Grape Shot, not tier decks, but you definitely win with a Grape Shot or win with a Tendrils. You just got to find a different pathway to casting enough spells to do it. How long are we streaming today? Till about 5-ish Eastern time. So we just started not that long ago. Another, I don't know, 2.5-ish hours. Ooh, Arcanist. Huh. Well, let's Risen Reef. Land tapped. Hallowed Fountain tapped. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, technically, we have the mana for a Command the Dreadhorde. We don't have anything to reanimate with a Command the Dreadhorde, but we do have the mana for it. Okay, okay, okay. I mean, our opponent milling creatures would be fine too. We can reanimate our opponent's creatures. Yeah, Treasure Storm is one way that that you can storm off. I mean, we've done that in Standard. It's super janky, but it's really sweet when it works. Been playing till I get my wins each day. I've gotten to Diamond Tier 2, completely free to play. Ooh, congratulations, I. Don't have that many wild cards. I need to make a new deck, though. So that kind of keeps me turned off to the client, but I'm going to keep going and try to get as far as I can get. Yeah, that's one of my disappointments with Arena is it's just not that easy to switch decks or build new decks. About it. Goes attacking. I assume like Inquisition. Alright, so I can take the Paradise Druid. Sure. Well, this means we can probably get down Jace. Hopefully. Well, we'll take the 1. Down to 17. I have a sweet Emery Paradox Engine Storm deck that includes Sorceress class and Rowan Well. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I guess Paradox Engine is also a way that you can, like, pseudo storm. Huh. Well. Alright, if opponent's gonna do this, then I think we just command the Dreadhorde Jace back, and this Croxa, and more. Alright, command number 1. Stitcher Supplier, Croxa. Paradise Druid Jace. Down to 8. Make you discard, mill some cards. Okay, that's not. I mean, Command the Dreadhorde is a powerful card. We're trying to combo off with Command the Dreadhorde. Well, Jace, mill ourselves, draw a card. Go attacking. Oh, 8 is not a lot of life though. 8 is not a huge amount. We need the Lier. We need the Lier. Opponent Thoughtseize is gonna take the Command the Dreadhorde, I assume. Sure. Ooh, okay. Another Arcanist. And goes attacking at the Jace. Ooh, come on, deck. Exclamation point has to go first, Paladin. How are you today, Paladin? Good to see ya. I draft like crazy and usually get close to completing most sets. Of course, I don't play a lot of Constructed, so I don't reap the bounty. Yeah, that's one of the paradoxes of Arena. If you draft a lot, you can play Constructed for free. But if you draft a lot, you probably either don't want to play Constructed or don't have the time to play Constructed. So the players who have the easiest time building new decks are the players who get the least use out of those decks. Well, there's some barrier rights. I guess Risen Reef's fine. Yeah, let's get back a Risen Reef. Draw some cards. Manadoric and... Aw, do we want to cycle that? We might want to cycle that. Yeah, let's keep it. Play a land, Llanowar Elves. Paradise Druid. Hit ya. Down to 15 past the turn. The Crocs is going to be coming back, and that's a little scary about it. What's the best way to get tokens in a Blue-Red Pioneer Transmogrify deck? Shark Typhoon's good. All right, there's a Croxa. Shark Typhoon's a good option. Dwarven Mine's a good option. Whatever Dragon Fodder exists is a good option. Well, Miller South draw card. Play a Tameo. Take down a Tameo.
Your talents are worth cataloging.
Risen Reef 3. Play Risen Reef 3. Draw some cards. We were doing it the old-fashioned way. Well, yeah, land goes into play. Gideon, ooh, Gideon Sacrifice. Okay, Risen Reef. Ooh, 1, 2. All right. Ooh. does this make us die? Wait, what is this? How does this interact with Tamiyo? When it attacks, each opponent discards a card, then lose each opponent who didn't discard a non-land. So does this mean we automatically take 3? Ooh, that's scary. That's a little scary. Jeff Boyardee, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the idea of this deck, Jace is really weird looking, but the idea is we Gideon sacrifice. So all the damage dealt to us goes to a random creature, and then we can command the Dreadhorde everything, which hopefully mills our entire deck, and then we win with Jace. We haven't actually pulled that off per se. We automatically, so it's a downside. So we can't play the Risen Reef, and we shouldn't have played the land untapped. All right, well, I guess we gotta pass then. If we're automatically taking 3, we gotta pass. Opponent plays a land. Oh, and this is loss of life too. So it doesn't, oh no, we might be dying to Croxus. I can definitely tell which sets are worse for draft based on how many of the sets cards I own. AFR not as many as mid, already 94%. So what is your favorite draft set recently? Ooh, opponent gets back Arcanist. Oh, thank you, opponent. Kills the Tamiyo. Well, we were a little worried that we were gonna die to Croxa, but our opponent took care of that for us. Goes to combat. Attacks the something. Attacks us. Well, let's cycle the Triome. See if we can hit a bad non-land to discard. We're kind of close to comboing. Ooh, Cavalier. Oh, Risen Reef. I guess it's got to be the Risen Reef. Yeah, we'll discard the Risen Reef. We will block with Stitcher Supplier. We need the Lier. We need to find the Lier so we can flashback the command the Dreadhorde so we can win the game. Mill some cards. I think there's a shot. Will you do a Midnight Hunt draft? We haven't drafted Midnight Hunt at all yet. All right, there's the Arcanist. Oh, Lier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we got to wait one more turn. All right, so we got to survive one more turn, and then we should be able to Lier for the win. Jace, take it up. Mill ourselves. 2 Cavaliers, another Jace. Well, Cavalier. Gives them triggers. Risen Reef. Gets us a Lier. And a land. And a land. And a land. And a land. Actually, should we play the Lier? Do we have anything we can flash back immediately? The one Gideon sacrifice. I mean, I guess that's worth it. I'll play the Lier. Play the land. Okay. Pass the turn. Save us Gideon sacrifice. Voted. Come on. I want to see the full combo. I want to see the full combo. I want to see it. I want to see it. We got the Lier. So the idea is Gideon sacrifice, reanimate literally everything, win the game. Can we survive the turn and pull it off? Hopefully. Vote it. Looking at our creatures. We're so close. We're so close. Diamond 1. Nice. Congratulations. I think Kaldheim aged the best throughout the whole format. AFR was amazing the first week, before everyone caught on to the fact that you could just draft red, black, and splash whatever bombs come your way. Yeah, I mean, some formats are like that. Some start off strong and fizzle. Others had more staying power. I think original Innistrad was a classic. That was one where people were like figuring out some of the sweetest archetypes like 2 months after the set released, 3 months after the set released. Opponent gonna make us discard, hit us for 2. Huh. Now, Gideon sacrifice. Surprise. We will target our Jace. Discard a Jace.
This one.
Okay. Is it happening? Is it happening? Oh, I hope they can't kill the Lier. That would be so disappointing. Fame pumps it. Opponent. Everything at Jace. Sure. Oh my god, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. I really, truly think it's gonna happen. Cole gets command. We discard our last card. We don't need cards. They're all in the graveyard. We got the Lier. Opponent's tapped out. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, this is gonna be so good. This is what we've been waiting for. About it. Sure. We will. Actually, let's do this correctly. Block, 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 block. We actually just want our stuff to die. Oh, don't scoop, don't scoop, don't scoop, don't scoop. Gideon sacrifice. Oh yeah, our stuff can't die, that's right. Cavalier of Thorns. Command the Dreadhorde. You and you. Our graveyard. You. 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 Here it is. Here it is. That's what we've been waiting for. Get them all back. Get them all back. Get a bunch of triggers. Draw the deck. Oh my goodness. This was worth the wait. There's all of our Assassin's trophies. Comes into play tapped. Another, wow, literally all the Assassin's trophies. Yeah. Draw a card. Sure, draw a card. Put it into play. Put it into play. Draw a card. So good. So good. Put that land into play. Put that land into play. That's 0 cards in our library. The triggers fizzle. The triggers fizzle. Decline. Jace. Draw a card. Mill you to send a message. And that is the full combo kill. That is the full combo kill. Yeah, the blocking doesn't actually work because we prevented all the damage. That was good though. That's what the deck can do. That's what the deck can do. Can it do it consistently enough? Maybe not. That's the challenging part. Can we do that consistently enough for the deck to be competitive? Get 6 wins in a row. Not gonna lie, mis-explanation, and we haven't done anything the last couple of games, so I had no idea what was supposed to happen. Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Fill the graveyard, get a Lier, flashback, Gideon sacrifice, command the Dreadhorde, get back everything, mill the deck, win with Jace. That is the ideal outcome. Ooh, if you want it, I do like angering my opponents. Defenders, eh? Ooh, I mean that does look obnoxious to play against. I like the one of Mana Tithe. The only thing better than getting someone with a Mana Tithe is getting them with the single Mana Tithe in your deck. That is the ultimate win. So I guess Bloodchief's Thirst in. Hope our opponent doesn't have Graveyard Hate. Go down. One land. 1 Tameo. 1 Assassin's Trophy. Oh, maybe we just go 3 Bloodchief's Thirst. All right. Here we go. Can we get a match win? Mana Tithe does get me every time. I do love me some Mana Tithes. Oh, this hand's not great. So do you all want to see more Shaman? Someone has been asking for more Shaman, and I do enjoy Shaman. So I would not be against more Shaman. Probably Lier to the bottom for now. Opponent. Gonna start the milling. Well, tap and go. When you added white to blue, basically same as adding Rakdos. Infinite Navigator. Want to see some Super Friends? Are we back to the point where where Super Friends is cool again. We were talking about that last stream. Are we back to the point where Super Friends is like a fun deck to do streams and videos of? I feel like it's one of those decks that like War of the Spark kind of killed because Planeswalkers were just so good for so long. You know what? We can't even cast Blood. Yeah, we're going to need that. All right, discard the Sacrifice. Oh, Dragon's Rage is turned on. Take a few million. Well, go Risen Reefs, I guess. Risen Reef. Draw something good like a land new. Pass the turn. Super Friends could be fun. I think Mana Tithe would be fun. Wow. All right. Unholy Heat. More death. Destruction. I feel like... Oh, no. And the Crux. Wow. Well, this is Rakdos having a very good draw. Golly. We have 3 lands in our opponent. Opponents get back a Croxa. Hey. Planeswalkers are like Fight Club. It just gets bad quickly once you get to the point where it's not a bunch of smelly guys in a basement. I mean, yeah, I think that's true. I think Planeswalkers have been good for the game overall. I know there's been some debate over that, but I feel like overall Planeswalkers have done a lot of good for the game. This is a tough position. Okay, Risen Reef. Gotta hit an untapped Black Source. Alright, well, yikes, that went a little less good than the last one. The Bioessence Hydra Super Friends deck from Budget Magic Pass was super sweet. Well, Bioessence Hydra was a cool card. Oh, that's one of those decks. Oh, Arena's been so rough on Budget Magic. Because that's a deck, I don't even know. I wonder if I can look it up. I expect that it's got a ridiculous amount of rares. It's gotta have a ridiculous amount of rares. Where, I guess 25. So I guess it's not that ridiculous, since a lot of our Planeswalkers are actually the uncommon Planeswalkers. But yeah, even 25 rares, that's a pretty big number. So tough. Budget decks are just so tough on Arena. Still have not been able to figure that out, and we've been doing Budget Magic on Arena for a while now. Have not cracked that code. Have you ever done Planeswalker Tribal on Arena? We haven't. Hey, what's up, dog? Good to see you. We haven't mostly just because. Well, we'll play first. Yeah, let me keep that. Mostly just because there's usually not that many versions of Planeswalkers on Arena. So we're often like, usually Planeswalker Tribal's been Modern because Modern has the last 15 years of Planeswalkers or whatever. When Arena just doesn't have all those cards. So a lot of the older versions of Planeswalkers are just not available, unfortunately. 25 is insane considering like almost a month or so of farming I have like 15 rares, and the rares I get from packs are useless most of the time. Yeah, that's the challenge. If you're a free-to-play player, getting the rares you need is a consistent challenge on Arena. Well, all right, pass the turn. These Cavalier Thorns could be helpful. They're big. They might be able to keep us alive for a minute about it. Didn't know Croxa plays a land. Lier will be good eventually, hopefully, but not good yet. Village Rites. Oh boy. That's like, oh, thought Seas milled. Okay. Opponent. Jeez. Oh, takes the Lier. Okay. Odd choice, but sure. Well, looks like we're empty-handed here on turn 3. If I want to spend money but don't want to draft, what should I buy? So 7 grass, there's really not a ton of options. If you don't want to draft and you want to spend money on Arena, the only option is just to buy packs. I think that's probably the way to go. Well, alright, Triome. Mill some cards. I guess we might as well hit ya. Pass the turn. Well, if they kill the Cavalier, we get to get back a Cavalier. Eventually, we'll mill over to Barrow Rights. We might not be in the absolute worst shape. At least we're blanking Future Thought Seizes for the time being. Opponent goes attacking. Unholy Heat, kind of insane. Kills the Cavalier. Well, we will get back a Cavalier. Try again next turn. Oh, Dreadhorde Arcanus is so good. I mean, I think that there's a lot of upsides to Magic Online. I've never been able to figure out why Wizards didn't take the good parts of Magic Online and put them onto Arena. Because there's bad parts of Magic Online too. I don't know why they didn't do what both clients do best and make like a super client that everyone loved instead of just making some weird choices. What do you think of this theory? This is something I've been wondering about lately. Speaking of Arena, it almost feels to me, and this is purely me rambling. So this is not some, inside information, anything like that. This is just me rambling. What do you think of this theory? Wizards' goal with Arena was to make a new player-friendly client with a freemium economy, with a goal being to milk money out of noobs, essentially. Like, I don't know if there's a better way of putting that, but essentially that was the goal of Arena, to make money off of players who didn't already play Magic, lure in the Hearthstone players, make it super expensive, get a bunch of money. But then we, as the Magic community, we're like, whoa, because so many people don't like Magic Online, and we're like, whoa, look at this flashy client. We want this to be awesome. We want Pioneer. We want Historic. We want Pro Tours. Like, we want organized play. We want all this sweet stuff, and we put all this expectations, and Wizards was like, whoa, like, hang on, everyone. Like, we're just trying to make a quick buck here. What is all this talk about Pro Tours? What is all this talk about, organized play and replacing Magic Online? That was never what we were going for here. We just wanted to innocently milk a few dollars out of people who we were not already getting money from, and now y'all are going crazy. And Wizards tried to like do some of that stuff, and most of it failed because that wasn't what their goal for the game was when they started designing it, and that's where we are now. I mean, at some point, it's got to be our fault, right? When I hear people, including myself, wow, we can't really get anything back that's relevant. Ugh. When I hear people, including myself, talking about the issues with Arena, at some point, I think it's got to be our fault. At some point, we lived through Magic Online. It's like the fool me once thing. Magic Online had issues for years in this, and then the Kibler thing, and then, the economy crashing and bugs. And Magic Digital was kind of like a laughing stock to some extent. It was a meme. We would always joke about, like, even though I love Magic Online, and I still very much enjoy playing Magic Online, it was mostly a meme. At some point, it's probably our fault for expecting Arena to be good, because what in the history of Wizards Digital would make us think that they have the ability to design a digital client that would actually be satisfactory to everyone? Like, at some point, it's our fault. It's our fault. We should have known. You fooled me a million times, and we still expected the Kibler thing. Oh, that's an interesting piece of Magic Online history. Actually, it's kind of funny, because it's so much different today. But back in 2013, I want to say, one of the biggest digital tournaments they had was called the MOX, Magic Online Championship. And it was a pretty big deal. I think the final tournament was like $100,000. You could qualify for them throughout the year. But there was a MOX qualifier, I believe it was. This was before Kibler left for Hearthstone. It was still primarily a Magic player. Oh, Croc says. So there's a MOX qualifier. Kibler dedicates his day to it. something goes wrong with a bug where he was going to make the top 8, but then because of a bug, you'd have to read the specific details, but essentially he missed out on the top 8 because of a bug. He wrote a rather scathing blog post about the experience and about the issues with Magic Online, and Wizards shut down events on Magic Online for like 2 or 3 months. The economy crashed. They took the feedback like seriously to heart, to the point where they shut down the tournaments until they could make fixes based on, I mean, other people's feedback too, but primarily driven by this experience that Kibler had and wrote about. And Magic Online ended up coming back stronger and better because of it. But it's kind of funny now, because now we have like weird things that happen at the equivalent of Pro Tours on Arena, and it, for some reason, it kind of gets a pass. I've never figured that out, other than people just not liking Magic Online, which, if you don't like Magic Online, that's perfectly fine, and I can see why some people don't, but I understand why sometimes we have like Pro Tours where we had to restart a match midway through because Arena had a bug, and it's like just not a big deal. And back then it's like, oh, it's a Mox qualifier that had a bug, and it's like, shut down the client, we got to fix this. So I don't know. I feel like Arena's judged on a different standard, or maybe it's just that people have moved past, as sad as it is, competitive Magic, and people just don't care like they did 10 years ago. So it's not a big uproar because everyone's just like, yeah, you know, we're playing Commander now. Like, we don't really care about this whole Pro Tour thing. So what are we doing? I don't know if it's possible to improve this deck. Maybe we try some Shaman. So what do we learn about this deck? We played, what, 3 matches with it? We won 1 of those 3 matches. No, we won 2 games during those 3 matches. In 0 of those matches, the deck is not very good. The combo is sweet. Like, when it goes off, the ability to Lier, Gideon Sacrifice, reanimate everything, win the game, like the big combo turn is really sweet, but the deck feels really inconsistent. If I was building this deck, you got the challenge of being 4 colors. That is a challenge. Like, making the mana work is tough. I would probably dedicate more of the deck to filling the graveyard. I feel like that is the biggest issue with the deck, is it's not very quick and fast at filling the graveyard. You could make this more of a reanimator style deck. Like, why are we playing Tamiyo? I'm not 100% sure we got 4 Tamiyos. I would say, like, cut back on the Tamiyos, maybe cut back on some of the mana dorks, cut back on the Assassin's trophies, probably cut back on the Risen Reefs. Like, there's a lot of things that could be cut, and then use these slots instead on cards that can get cards in the graveyard to try to maximize the Command the Dreadhorde potential. Because I feel like the deck's pretty slow at filling the graveyard, and it's definitely not very disruptive either. You add that together, and I feel like we ended up with essentially against odds deck rather than a deck that's actually competitive. But let's try a deck that, one of my favorites in the historic format. If you've never seen this deck before, and hopefully it's still good, it's been a minute since we played it, but this is Shaman. And Shaman, oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite decks in literally the entire format. We should quick build up a Light Up the Night deck since chat wants Super Friends. I've been thinking big mana Jund with Nissa, Tibalt, and red. I mean, we could build Super Friends. Do people want to? So what do you want to see? Do you want to build Super Friends? Do you want to keep messing around with the Command the Dreadhorde deck? Shaman is also an option, or Mono Red Madness. What is your preference, chat? What do you prefer? Do you have a link to the Color Pie article talked about in the podcast? Yes, it's on the mothership. I think there's 2. Ooh, wait, where did it go? Well, it's on the mothership. It might be in the archive now. Did it already get bumped? Aha. All right, here you go. Yeah, it's a couple articles down on here, but this will get you to it. Super Friends, Jund Super Friends with Yawgmoth for Proliferate sounds hilarious. Wow, Super Friends must be cool again. Is Super Friends cool again? It might actually be cool again. Anti-vote for Super Friends. Play some Shamans first. Super Friends, Super Friends, Super Friends. There's no Karth in this format, unfortunately. Super Friends, Shaman. Well, people want to try Super Friends. All right. Well, Super Friends it is. What is the reason to play Super Friends? What card are we building around? What are we trying to do with the deck? That is the question. So obviously, Super Friends, it's a bunch of planeswalkers. That part is easy. We can throw a ton of planeswalkers in the deck. What are we trying to do non-planeswalker wise? I think that is the big question. What is the payoff for playing all these planeswalkers other than just valuing our opponent out with a bunch of planeswalkers? Also, what planeswalkers do you want? We need what we need is a planeswalker Panharmonicon in the format. That would be sweet. Like when you activate an ability, activate it a second time. Something like an updated Chain Veil, essentially. Light Up the Night is interesting. New Kasmina. Ooh, I forgot about New Kasmina. Wait, New Kasmina, does that actually do anything? Oh boy. Not Angrath, Captain of Chaos. Anything but Angrath. So Kasmina, each other planeswalker you control has its abilities, +2 scry, make a fractal. Search your library for an instant or sorcery that shares a color with it. Exile it without paying its mana cost. Oath of Teferi is sweet. Like that's an actual payoff for playing planeswalkers. I feel like Super Friends, it's a cool archetype, but I feel like it ends up being similar-ish. So Oath of Teferi, Oath of Kaya is also pretty good against aggro. We don't have a doubling season. You can play Vorinclex as a way to ultimate quicker. Play Immortal Sun to make our planeswalkers cheaper, of course. Yeah, Kasmina's just not very good. Super Friends Mill. Ooh. Huh. Wait, how do you do Super Friends Mill? So what colors do we want to be in? Light up the... What is it? Light Up the Night? Light Up the Night is interesting. If you get enough loyalty counters, you can just burn your opponent out. But you do need a lot of loyalty counters on your planeswalkers. Bioessence Hydra. Bioessence Hydra is cool. I don't know if it's actually competitive in Historic. I mean, we can add it to our... Yeah, Lithiform Engine isn't bad. The downside is it can't really copy planeswalkers because they're all legendary, but copying their abilities is pretty sweet. All right, so what planeswalkers would we actually want in the deck? So I think if we're looking like we're gonna be 4 to 5 colors, so I guess we can kind of play whatever we want. Hey, what's up, Predator? How are you? Spark Double is sweet. The other challenge with planeswalkers is just their expensiveness. If we're gonna try to play Light Up the Night, I think we need to have high loyalty planeswalkers. I actually think the best way to play Light Up the Night is probably mono red planeswalkers and just play like a bunch of like Chandra Tribal. Like if I was gonna build Light Up the Night, it would probably be something like this, which might actually be good. Chandra Tribal is occasionally good. So like this is how I would build. This I think is how I would build Light Up the Night. Something like this. Oops. This. So a ton of Chandras. Chandra's Regulator, which does let us double up the Chandra abilities. Light Up the Night. So Light Up the Night. And then Ramp, which I guess is Mind Stone and... Mind Stone and what? Splash for Valky? Ooh, Azeka's Bridge would be fun. Hey, what's up, Winzo? How are you? Good to see you, good to see you. Then we would need... I mean, Chandra Tribal is fun because Chandras are pretty sweet. What is the best removal spell we can play in the early game? We can even use Regulator to like loot away Light Up the Night. Like we got to fill out the early part of our curve if we do this. Yeah, it might be. It might be worth playing. Huh. It might be worth playing Guardian Idol too. We definitely need some early game removal. We need probably a sweeper of some kind. We could play like Maze Mind's Tome or Treasure Map. Those are also cards that I like in a deck like this. Chandra's Embercat it's cute. It just dies so much. That's kind of the big issue. Yeah, Unholy Heat we can't actually turn on, which kind of limits its potential to some extent. Could play Anger of the Gods. Anger of the Gods, Star of Extinction, something like that is probably worth it. At least in the sideboard. If not in the main deck, at least in the sideboard for the aggro creature decks. What do we want for targeted removal? That's the other question. I feel like we want some targeted removal. So we got the Anger of the Gods. We got a bunch of Chandras. How do we kill things in the early game? Chandra's Triumph is really good in a deck full of Chandras. I think that's probably the best choice. If you got a Chandra, 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker, instant speed is actually pretty solid. Ooh. Frostbite? Yeah, Frostbite's also not bad. We can play Frostbite and then play Snow-Covered Mountains and then play Faceless Haven as a creature land. Seems reasonable. I mean, I think this deck can probably get a Light Up the Night Killer too. Like, it seems like the flashback should kind of be insane. And then what do we want to play with these last slots? So we have a few things we can flashback. Is there... Stone Rain would be kind of funny. It probably wouldn't be good, but Stone Rain flash it back with Chandra Acolyte of Flame is pretty good. Oh, Shatterskull, yeah. Shatterskull smashing. Ooh, I guess we can still make the Snowland plan work. That should still be fine. So Shatterskull smashing for more removal. So against control, we're just like, I think what we do is, maybe Maze Mind's Tome, maybe like 2 Maze Mind's Tome, and then 2, we have like 2 more slots. Actually, we could just go 3 Maze Mind's Tome, and then another Frostbite, something like that, and then play the Angers in the sideboard. I mean, that is a lot of Chandras. Ooh, Bone Crusher is really good. Actually, Bone Crusher, yeah, Bone Crusher is probably just better than Frostbite. And then we don't have to do the Snowland thing. This is probably just, I think I like this plan better. And then we don't have to deal with Snowlands, and we just play whatever lands we want, and play more utility lands. I mean, Faceless Haven is fine, but we got like Den of the Bugbear. So what red lands do we want? So mana base next, and then sideboard, and then actually playing. I think this deck might be sweet. Chandras are sweet, so we can play. We don't need dual lands. What do we have for colorless lands? Are there any good... Ooh, Valakut Awakening could be fine. Den of the Bugbear's probably worth it. Maybe something like that. And then, what colorless lands are worth playing? Are there any? Arch of Araska, Crawling Barrens, Cathartic Pyre could be good. I could see Cathartic Pyre. Faceless Haven, Field of the Dead, ban. Karn's Bastion is cute. Oh, Mobilized District is actually pretty good in a Planeswalker deck. That might be better than Crawling Barrens just because it's so cheap to activate. Maybe we do that. Maybe we just go Creature Land heavy. And then a bunch of mountains. Ghost Quarter. Do you think we need a Ghost Quarter effect? Do we need a Ghost Quarter in this deck? Is that actually relevant in Historic? I mean, we can play a Field of Ruin. It's easy enough to play a Field of Ruin or two. Maybe something like that. And then what do we want in the sideboard? We need some sort of graveyard hate. We got the Anger of the Gods. Yeah, it is very close to a Pioneer deck. We've kind of accidentally built a Pioneer deck. Inventor's Fair. Ah, what would we do with Inventor's Fair? I don't feel like we have enough artifacts for Inventor's Fair. So we want early game removal. I mean, I guess we can play a couple Unholy Heats. So removal in the early game, sweepers. What do we want for control? That's going to be the tough one. What do we do against the control deck? Just slam Planeswalkers and hope? Yeah, we can play Grafdigger's Cage. Ooh, Fry? Magic Missile. Urza's Rage. Grafdigger's Cage is probably the way to go for sideboard. For sideboard hate. Oh, I really want to get someone who would light up the night. I mean, we're not doing anything with our graveyard, so we can go full on Grafdigger's Cage for graveyard hate. Anger of the Gods, Unholy Heat. We need something for control decks, and that's it. Then we can go. Ooh, let me see. I haven't seen Green White Legends. Could play the 6/6 Dragon. I mean, Fry is... I do like Fry. It is good at sniping. We might just have a good enough main deck against control, honestly. Like, the Chandras are pretty good. Actually, we should probably have the last Torch of Defiance, right? Are Chandras good enough? So we got 3/2, 2/3, 3. Can flashback removal. Let's just try it. Let's just try and see what happens. I don't like that it hits Planeswalkers, though. I think we want a sweeper that doesn't hit Planeswalkers. All right, we'll play a Banefire. We'll play a Banefire. All right, let's see if Shattered Tribal. Let's see what it does. I think it'll be fun. I hope it'll be fun. I mean, it's got to be more competitive than Lier, right? The Lier Dreadhorde deck. Oh boy. Not one of the most competitive decks we've played. Oh, I didn't export it. All right, remind me in between the matches and I'll export it. Heart of Kirin could be good. Interplanar Beacon. Yeah, it might be worth it for the life gain. Hey, what's up, Monster CZ? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see ya. Should probably be playing Heart over Mindstone. We need our loyalty for Light Up the Night, though. We don't want to tax our loyalty too much. Right now we're building Chandra Tribal. We might have to restart. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Apparently Arena's having a rough go of it. Avert your eyes. The desktop, I think it's messy. I'll warn you. I'll warn you right now. It's not that bad. Oh, have any of you played a Storybook Brawl? I thought of it here as I saw a little icon. Have you tried Storybook Brawl? I don't play a ton of non-Magic games, but I have kind of been enjoying auto battlers. I started playing Battlegrounds, which I know the desktop. There's some stuff on it. I started playing Battlegrounds, and Battlegrounds is super fun. I don't know if any of you have played Battlegrounds, but Battlegrounds, it does get a little samey after the while. Folders, that's what people do with their laundry, right? Not me, but other people. I'm more of a piler. Storybook Brawl is actually kind of fun, I will say. I have enjoyed Storybook Brawl. Were we changing something? I don't think we were changing anything, right? We were just hoping Arena. Oh, I was gonna export it. That's what I was gonna do. Yeah, Storybook Brawl is actually kind of fun. I think I might like it better than Battlegrounds. Battlegrounds was really fun, but after a while, it kind of felt like doing the same thing over and over again. And maybe Storybook Brawl will end up feeling like that eventually too. But adding spells to the game does kind of make it a little bit different. It might give it more replayability because it adds a whole nother layer of gameplay and choices. Hey, what's up, Zeus? How are you? All right, let's Chandra. But it's fun if you're. Oh, what's Battlegrounds? Battlegrounds is actually a Hearthstone adjacent game. It's those games. It's an auto battler game essentially where you build your battlefield of creatures and then they kind of smash into each other. I don't know what the first auto battler was, but yeah, Battlegrounds is probably one of the most well-known, I think. And Storybook Brawl's like that. It's been catching on in the Magic world because LSV's part of it. He's like the VP or something of the company that's making it. So I think that's helped it catch on with a lot of Magic players. I imagine that most of the people playing are Magic players at this point. It's relatively new, but I have actually enjoyed it. Worth checking out if you like games like that. Yarion. All right, we'll keep it. I mean, we got some Chandra's triumphs. So we can kill stuff, we can draw cards, we got a Chandra. Seems fine. Oh, Yarion aggro? Well, tap, land, go. All right, Yarion with Orzhov lands. Hey, what's up, Andre Vorenclax? How are you? Have I tried Flesh and Blood? I have not tried Flesh and Blood. Mostly because it's not online. If Flesh and Blood had a digital client, I would have definitely tried it by now. I can't imagine myself. I live in the middle of nowhere. There's not a ton of LGSs. I don't have any friends that play it, so I can't imagine myself spending a bunch of money on Flesh and Blood to not even really have a place to play it. So that's the main thing that's kept me from trying it. If it was available in digital, wow. Is this Yarion humans? Interesting. We're gonna Mind Stone. Go. Have you tried Flesh and Blood? Should I be trying Flesh and Blood? Also, I don't know. Some of the economic aspects that I've heard about kind of turned me off. It's almost spoiler season. Spoiler season for Crimson Vow. It is starting in 9 days? Not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. It is almost time. It is almost time for more spoilers. And I think the set's going to be sweet. I think the first Innistrad set was sweet. I think this set is going to be sweet. And I think Alrund's Epiphany is going to be banned. I've come around, chat, in the last day or two, after doing the podcast this week and talking to people. I'm still not going to like do the whole like call for bannings thing, but I've come around to the idea that I think they should just ban Alrund's Epiphany. I don't really think there's... Oh, we can't even pay for it. Okay. Awkward. Sure, you get to draw a card. Well, we get to kill the Sentinel. Double Thalia's Lieutenant's a little rough skis. Ooh, little rough about it. Two? How does your 80 card deck have two of them? How is that possible? So I've come around to the idea that I think that the banning of Epiphany is probably inevitable. And if it is inevitable, golly, if it is inevitable, then I don't know what the point of waiting is. So if you're someone who thinks it is 100% certain that Epiphany is going to be banned, then you might as well just ban it now, right? Why? Huh. Well, okay. Sometimes your opponent draws two Thalia's Lieutenants and wins the die roll and wins the game. Thankfully, we get Anger of the Gods and Unholy Heats. We can go down 5 mana Chandra. We can go down to Chandra Fire. I feel like we should be smacking this deck. Look at the amount of removal that we have. How is our opponent going to overcome this amount of removal? We just got off to a slow start. Our opponent got a really fast start. Why is it inevitable? Well, I guess so. The question would be, okay, so I guess there's like two questions. Question one is, Epiphany decks have proven to have a lower than 50% win rate in the current meta. Interesting. Do you have like data or an article or something on that? Opponent. So I think the question is, number one is, does Epiphany need to be banned? Yes or no? If the answer to that is yes, then I think the logical thing to do is just do it now rather than waiting. That's kind of my thinking. I'm not sure what the point is. If everyone's thinking, because I think the line has been, well, a new set's coming out, and that's kind of the place that I bet. Okay, we're getting a new set in a month. Let's wait until after that set comes out and then move forward. But if the idea is it's gonna have to be banned 2 weeks after the new set comes out, I don't really see the point in waiting until the new set comes out and then banning it a week later or something. That actually seems slightly silly to me. All right, well, play the land, pass the turn. Opponent goes to combat. I mean, I don't know, even going by this data, which I'm not sure the sample size, like, the best deck in the, well, I mean, I guess mono white is slightly ahead in this data set, but is it dragons is 57%. I mean, so excluding mono white, that would be the best deck in the format. I think the thing is, like, this is an Epiphany deck, 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 this is an Epiphany deck. Some of these are Epiphany decks. So I think that might be the concern, is just the overall prevalence of Epiphany. I think that might be the issue that some people might be having with it. The Raven Inspector. Well, we're gonna rest some humans. Opponent, sure. Grows their dorks, that's fine, goes to combat. So I'm not calling for banning, but I'm saying if we think that, what are we pulling? So I'm not calling for banning. I'm saying if we think that it's gonna need to be banned, I'm not sure I see the point in waiting anymore. Because before I was thinking, well, let's just wait. Let's just wait till we get the new set and then figure it out from there. But now I'm thinking more like, well, if what Wizards is thinking and what all the players are thinking is, well, let's wait until Crimson Vow releases and then 2 weeks after it just ban stuff. That doesn't really make that much sense to me. How is mid-range not viable? Mono green is literally the definition of a mid-range deck. I don't know. Is that a mid-range deck? I think mono green kind of walks the line between aggro and mid-range. Opponent going to Pyre of Heroes. Ooh. Well, Fast Chandra is good. We got a Regulator, which is also good. Opponent tutoring up something. Opponent's got an interesting take on humans. Chemball. Sure. Well, we will. Anger the Gods of Chemball. Also going to be kind of sweet. Anger the Gods of Chemball. Out of here. Play a land. Chandra's Regulator. Emblem X2. Ooh. Yes, we will pay the 1. Can you beat 2 emblems a turn? Opponent? Ping 'em, ping 'em. All right, let's get the light up tonight. Let's get the light up tonight to close this out. So yeah. I mean, so what do we want to see? So I think the other question is, like, if you're someone who thinks that Epiphany is a problem, what could they possibly print that would make it not a problem? If you think it's fine, then this doesn't even apply, and there's not really anything to think about. But it's hard for me to think of a card that could be printed if you think that Epiphany is a problem that's gonna make it not good. Like, what? Give me a hypothetical design that would make Epiphany not good. This is the exception. Sometimes we pay the 1 if it's beneficial to our own stuff. Also, a quick reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you get it from over at cardkingdom.com. Foretell Hate seems tricky. I don't even know how one would make Foretell Hate exactly. Like a Thoughtseize that hits the exile zone or something. I do think we might need exile hate. As weird as it sounds, we need like we need a reverse rest in peace. We need a rest in peace that puts all cards from the exile zone into the graveyard or something. Or we need super exile. We need super exile. Relic of Progenitus that puts cards from exile into super exile where they really aren't coming back this time. It sounds like a joke, but we might actually need something like that. Well, all right, Chandra's Regulator. Emblem ya up. 2 emblems a turn is kind of insane. Mega exile, exactly. And then eventually you'll have so many exile zones that just going into the graveyard will be a big deal again. We'll go like completely full circle. 2 more emblems. Play the land. Faz the... Oh, should we be killing this? So they can... What 4-drop human is actually good? And whatever. Whatever. Do your thing. Do your thing, opponent. Tutor up your 4-drop, we're fine with that. Personally, I think the track record for extra turns in Standard has been poor recently. I've come to the mindset that Standard just shouldn't have extra turn spells. Leave it to master sets and the like. I definitely agree with you, Marky Mike. I think even if we make it through the Standard without any bannings to things like Epiphany, I think that Wizards should and will stop printing extra turn spells in Standard, at least for a while. In regards to extra turns, let me ask you a philosophical question about Magic. Is the game better or worse when Wizards prints cards that break the fundamental rules of the game? Well, I mean, in some sense, doesn't everything break the fundamental rules of the game? Like, isn't that the definition of what a Magic card does? Like, one of the fundamental rules of Magic is you draw 1 card each turn. Does Mind Stone, sacrificing yourself to draw a card, like, does that break a fundamental rule? I would say yes, like, technically, but I don't think Mind Stone's a bad thing. Like, I think most Magic cards, you know, in some way or another, if you really squint, break the rules of the game. I do think that cards that go too far to break those rules are the cards that end up being a problem. Or yeah, that would be another example. You can make 1 land drop each turn. Rampant Growth gets you another land out of your deck. That's kind of breaking a rule of the game is what makes it powerful. You're getting an extra resource, you're spending a card to do it. So that's kind of like how the game works, how the game's designed, is cards break the rules, and that's what makes a Magic card. But I do think you can definitely go too far with that. I think Companions were a big example of that for me. I feel like Companions were... Wow, opponent's just going to time out here, aren't they? I think Companions were an example of breaking a fundamental rule that went way too far. You know what? Let's just kill it. Might as well while we can. Untap. I feel like our opponent has lost the will to play here. Well, we will... Emblem. Pay the 1. Always pay the 1 with a regulator. Oh, poor opponent. Poor opponent. I mean, what do you think? Is breaking the rules of the game good or bad? I feel like it's necessary for there to be a game, but if you go too far, it becomes a problem. Opponent. I mean, another thing is, like, I still have enjoyed Standard, and I still have concerns that even if Epiphany got banned, that people would still not really be happy with Standard, and that maybe people will never be happy with Standard. I feel like, I don't know, like, it's really hard for me to picture Azeka's Chariot is actually being a problematic card to Standard. Like, I still haven't been able to get my mind around that. Maybe I'm wrong, and it is, and I just need to come to grips with that, but we're not gonna pay the 1 this time. Oh, that's a good genre. All right, play the land. Pass the turn. Oh. Opponent stopped playing and then came back to say, oops. They returned. You have 8 emblems on you, opponent. You have 8 emblems. Was that saltiness? What happened there? Our opponent salty timed out, returned to mock us with an oops when we upticked our Chandra with 8 emblems hitting their face. How do we need better ways of responding to people on Arena. We definitely do. Exactly. So it's a measure to some extent. I think Nexus is a mistake too far, but Epiphany isn't. I kind of feel like, oh, maybe that's what our opponent was doing. Maybe they were saying oops because they disconnected. That would make more sense. I kind of feel like extra turns, like I laid out a couple of weeks ago, I wrote an article and kind of laid out my theory about the extra turn spell thing. And my theory about the extra turn spell thing is that other cards are too powerful. You can read the article about Spectral Bears and Power Creeps and Epiphanies on MTGGoldfish.com. But essentially, my theory is extra turns. Elmer's Epiphany is not even a very good extra turn spell in the grand scheme of extra turn spells. I think in the grand scheme, hey, what's up, Jank Jesus? I have not been collecting stickers, but maybe I should. So in the grand scheme of things, I feel like Elrond's Epiphany is kind of a medium powered extra turn spell, but the other cards are so powerful now that extra turn spells that are anywhere close to being competitively playable are just not a good thing for standard at this point. So that's kind of what I lean towards. Is just the cards around the extra turn spells are so snowbally, and even being powered down compared to Eldraine standard, so powerful compared to spells from 5 or 10 years ago, that a single extra turn just offers too much value. That's where I come down on it. That the multiverse has changed essentially, and extra turn spells were safe in the past, fine in the past, but they just, with the rest of the card pool, are too strong today. Because remember, it wasn't that long ago that they were putting like Time Warp in core sets, and it wasn't even really seeing meaningful play in standard. Like a decade ago, Time Warp was just, that's way better than Elrond's Epiphany. Like, it's a mana cheaper, 2 mana cheaper if you don't foretell it. You can get it back from the graveyard, and that was just, it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. But now, Elrond's Epiphany is like at the top end of the format for sure. I also like cards like Chance for Glory. I think that's an interesting drawback. Take an extra turn, but you literally lose the game if you don't win the game that turn. That's actually pretty interesting to me, compared to just like taking an extra turn. But I feel like we talk about Elrond's Epiphany quite a bit. If you want to know if Epiphany is too good and should be banned yourself, it is correct to play Epiphany if you're blue. Yeah. I mean, when you see like the Esper Tempo deck or Blue-White Tempo deck having Epiphanies in it, that kind of makes me think, okay, I don't know, that might be a bit much. That might be a bit much. If you're playing mono blue aggro with Delver of Secrets and you're just jamming 4/6 drops in your deck because Epiphany is Epiphany, that might be a sign. I think the other sign is decks splashing into a color that they don't want to be in, just to be able to fight against it. I think, I'm wondering if like powerful top end finisher spells are going to be like, maybe that's the foundation of the issues people are having. Like, maybe that's the real problem. Maybe it's not that it's an extra turn spell. Maybe it's just that it's a powerful spell that ends the game. Because I feel, how about this for a theory? How about this? How about the idea that Magic is better when the finishers for controller ramp decks are permanents, so more decks have a chance to interact with them? I think that might be the bottom line. I think that might be it. Like, I think the problem a lot of people have with Elrond's Epiphany is the same problem they had with Emergent Ultimatum, which is, unless you're playing blue, and to a lesser extent black, and with Epiphany not even really black because of Foretell, but unless you're playing blue and have counter spells, you can't interact with it. So it ends up being very frustrating for players who are playing white, or players who are playing red, or even players who are playing green, because you want to be able to play those decks, and you want those color combinations to be playable, and I think we all want them to be playable, but you feel like I can't play my cool, you know, whatever, Gruul Werewolf deck because the cards don't exist in my colors to be able to interact with this sorcery that everyone's playing. And I feel like that is the real heart of the issue. Is that players feel like I can't play all the colors and all the things that I want to play because I don't have the ability to interact with this certain super popular card. And I don't think it's so much that it's an extra turn spell. If it was Emergent Ultimatum, it would probably feel the same way. So I think I would like to see the finishers for control style decks and for ramp style decks, I would like to see them be more permanent based. Like I will give you a sneak peek. There is coming up a deck I've been working on with Xanathar, and Xanathar's really sweet. Like Xanathar, it almost makes me sad because Xanathar, it's just been so much fun when you get on the battlefield. But Xanathar, like, it's the same mana cost, is a Foretold Alrund's Epiphany. But when you play it, if it sticks on the battlefield for a turn and you're not super far behind, it should win you the game. You should be able to cast a spell or two, leave your opponent with a land on top of their deck. But this kind of comes with Suspend 1. And if you're too far behind on board, it's not going to work. And it can be interacted with a Doomblade. It can be interacted with by red burn spells. White has removal spells for it. Blue can bounce it. Every color has a way to interact with this. So I feel like maybe players would have a lot more enjoyment if they were able to be fighting against the Xanathars of the world and the Immoress of the world, even the Comas of the world. Is even with Indestructible and how it can gain Indestructible, it is more able to be interacted with by more colors than fighting against Epiphany. So I really think that's the heart of the issue. Are we winning? Maybe. we did win. Huh, how are we doing this? So play the land. I would like to Mind Stone, but we might have to kill something. Good old Burning Tree Emissary. So I don't know, I think that's my grand theory of Magic at the moment, is that players don't like to fight against big spells as finishers because a lot of colors can't deal with them. That's the TLDR, I think, of my theory about Alrund's Epiphany. That it's not actually about extra turn spells, and it's not actually about Alrund's Epiphany. It's about players being unable to interact with spells with most colors. Well, play a land. Crushy Crusherton. Dirty Eldrade player. So the answer could be creative ways to stretch and bend the rules. I do think that more white counter spells could be a good thing. I think white should be allowed to have counter spells. It has been allowed to have counter spells in the past. I think that giving white access to more white style soft counter spells, that might actually be a pretty big positive for Magic overall. Green, I don't know. After green's been so good for the last few years, I guess screw green to some extent. If green's bad for a year or two, I guess I would be okay with that at this point because it's just been so good for so long. But yeah, more white counter spells would be good. Green, if you lose, you lose. Red, Tybalt's Trickery effects. Fixed, like non-combo Tybalt's Trickery. Like, I feel like that's actually a pretty legitimate option as well. So I think there are ways that we could with design. Oh, we can't actually kill this, can we? How do we do this? That's a 4/4. So Big Chandra is gonna get wrecked. I forgot about the Ranger class. I'll play a Mind Stone. Play a Mind Stone. Play a do we want to play Chandra? Chandra's just gonna die. Heck and Weave, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Okay, you have the choice. Should Wizards just change Tybalt's Trickery? Yes or no? I think everyone is in agreement that if Tybalt's Trickery only hit opposing spells, it would be a perfectly fine, fair even fun maybe card. Should Wizards do that? Okay, I guess we thought too long for our opponent. Apparently, too much thinking going on. No, leave it banned. No, it's already printed. No. Yep, errata. No. I follow you on Twitter for several years. First time actually seeing you stream. Hey, welcome, Big Z MTG. Good to have you. Yes, from Yuki. No, yes. This is another place where I haven't really made up my mind. If you asked me like a year ago, hard no. No. That should not be an option. The one thing that has made me a I would still go with no right now, but the one thing that's made me a slightly softer no is the fact that we have so many different versions of cards, which are not always super comprehensible anyway. Like, there's many different languages of cards. We have like the Japanese Mystic Archives showing up in, collector boosters around the world where some people can't read them. We have tons of secret Lair cards. We have textless cards. There's a lot of cards that at least some people are not going to be able to understand. So maybe in 2021 Magic, as weird as it sounds, maybe in 2021 Magic, having a card work differently than its text isn't actually as big of a deal as it would have been in the past. In the past, I think it wasn't so much like that. Want to know who does the illustrations for the videos? It's just that they're really good. Adriano Catani does all of our Goldfish art, and he is super amazing. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, he's super good though. Maybe different language style, but the card does actually do what it says, even though you don't know the language. That's true, but the same with, like, I don't know, textless cards. No one knows what they say. Like, it does what Gatherer says or Scryfall says, but there's no text on them. Wow, we've gotten a lot of random scoops. Or some of the Secret Lair cards, like, a lot of the Secret Lair cards aren't super comprehensible. Like look at these cards. If I saw this, I wouldn't, like, I guess kind of, if you really look around, you can find what it's doing, but I don't know. Like, at a glance, I'm seeing a movie poster, a kind of creepy movie poster. I'm not really seeing a Magic card that's telling me what to do. I'm seeing a piece of art here. So I guess you can kind of like read through it and find it. But I just think that I don't know. The ability to comprehend Magic cards with Secret Lair drops, with textless cards, it just doesn't seem like it's that important to Wizards anymore, compared to how it was a while ago. Winter Milan with the $4.20 donation. Appreciate that you always are driving the conversation in a civil, reasoned way and away from tribal Hearthstone bad go away sort of divisions. Well, thank you for the donation, Winter Milan. I mean, I have mixed feelings. I really do. Like, and it's a weird position to be in because I played Magic for a long time. So I think there's a tendency to have that boomer the boomer be afraid of change thing. Like, I feel like people turn to that too easily, and it's not always true. Whenever anyone's like, I don't know if I like this thing that Wizards doing or the change that Wizards is making, there's going to be some people that go, oh, you're just a boomer, like, whatever, your opinion doesn't matter. And I think that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I think if you have been playing Magic for a long time, it is important to examine if your feelings on things are at least in part driven by not wanting to see change, just being comfortable with how Magic always has been. I don't think that's what happens all the time, but I do think that happens on occasion too. I think one of the, I feel like this always comes up, even though when I try to get away from it, I feel like people brought that up with, I feel like people brought that up with London Mulligan, and we're like, oh, boomers just don't want to change. That's a case where I think people had like legitimate, I still think there's legitimate criticism of the London Mulligan that isn't just fear of change. Like, there actually is real things going on there. But then there are times when people do, like, maybe secret lair drops. I think there are definitely downsides to secret lair drops, especially with local game stores. But the amount of that reaction, I think some of the reaction probably was just, we're comfortable not doing it this way, and we haven't done it this way for the past 30 years. The idea of doing it a different way, that is a little bit frightening, and rightfully so. So definitely interesting. Ugh, Priest of Forgotten Gods. I guess that's actually not that... Priest of Forgotten Gods isn't actually that impactful if you're not playing creatures, and we're not really playing creatures. The movie poster cards still play as they read. The textless cards are iconic. Are iconic cards that is known to the community. The errata makes it less comprehensible. I agree. An errata would make it less comprehensible, and I'm not arguing for it. I'm just saying my position on it has softened slightly. Because of how Magic has evolved in the past few years. So if you asked me a few years ago, it would have just been, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. No, 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 no. Now I'm kind of like, can see both sides, and I still lean towards cards having to have the same text in every format, and it probably being a bad idea, but it's not as much of a hard no as it was in the past. Oh, should we bring back damage on this deck? And I mean, that's the thing. There have certainly been good changes too. Getting rid of damage on this deck. I think that was something that angered a lot of people and was a huge change. But it was definitely the right change for Magic, and it definitely improved the game. Some of the Legend rule changes, I think, were big improvements to the game. Some of the Mulligan rule changes, even though I don't like the current one, but could you imagine the Mulligan rule where you could only Mulligan if you had no lands in hand or all lands in hand? Like, getting away from that definitely improves the game. So yeah, there certainly have been many changes that have been super positive for the game, even though they weren't necessarily well received in their time when they first happened. 1, 2, 3, 4. How do we do this? I guess Blood Artist can't really attack Chandra anyway. All right, take up Chandra. Oh, we can take up for man. Oh my god, that's kind of insane. I forgot about that. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that. Let's take up for mana. Let's double it. Oh boy. Oh, that's so good. Play a land. Play a big Chandra.
Let's make this quick. I've got other things to burn.
And then kill a Blood Artist with big Chandra. We will decline. Wow, this deck's kind of working. I know we've had some opponents scooping, but technically we are 2-0 past the turd. Oh, so right now we have 8 loyalty. We can add a bunch more. We might be able to get up the, oh god, we might be able to get the Light Up the Night kill opponent, Ballista Citadel. Well, loot with Regulator. Discard, Light Up the Night. Okay, how much loyalty can we get? Can we get enough to kill our opponent? That's the question. That is the question. Okay, so Chandra, take up for mana. Double it.
This will be easy.
Chandra. Oh, I think we can get the combo kill. Take up for loyalty.
Just let me burn.
Double it.
I can find your fires of passion.
Play the land. Chandra. Take up for emblems. Double it.
Looks like
9,
a little
5.
sweaty.
Oh! Oh! Yes! It worked! This is pretty early in the game. This is like turn 5. This is turn 5. This is turn 5. 20 damage to the face. Ooh. Wow. That was actually pretty excellent. Okay, Light Up the Night. Light Up the Night. Actually looking pretty good. Wow. Yeah, Ballista Citadel pass is a thing that happens. That was like Planeswalker combo. Oh, Regulator, sweet. And then Light Up the Stage is like an insane. That was 4 mana, 20 damage on turn 5. Maybe this deck is actually... I'm glad we ended up here with our Super Friends deck. We could have ended up a bunch of different ways, and I'm glad we ended up with Chandra Tribal, because this deck actually seems kind of sweet. Ooh. Wow. Maybe Chandra Tribal could be legit. I mean, what are we 2-0 with it so far? Kind of, with some opponents scooping early, but I run Chandra Torture Defiance in almost every red Commander deck. She's amazing. What do you think of Planeswalkers in Commander? How many, actually, first question, I don't know if I've ever asked this somehow. Chat, how many of you play Commander? Show of hands. Show of hands, how many of you play Commander? You saw the good part, Trooper. The ending was the most important part. How many of you actually play the Commander format? Is it just everyone? Does everyone play Commander now? I mean, okay, maybe it's easier if you don't play. Like, is there anyone here that actively, like, doesn't play? It seems like most people are saying yes. Edgar Markov, Kimberly, Edgar Markov. Edgar Markov, so busted. Oh my goodness. I mean, it is a really fun Commander to play. Okay, so there's a few that don't play it. I would say most people play some level of Commander, but not everyone. A poll is a good idea. We can do a poll on it. Should we sideboard? Probably. Oh, maybe we might need Artifact Hate in this deck. We don't actually have Artifact Hate. That could be a worthy addition. Oh no, we definitely. Oh, okay. Wow, we should have sideboarded way quicker. That did not go. We spent too much time talking about playing Commander or not playing Commander, and and we did not spend much time sideboarding. Because we definitely need the Graph Digger's Cage. Okay, there's a poll up whether you play Commander. I'm definitely curious. We're going to keep this. One land, we did sideboard up 2 cards, so this is kind of predictable. If we get to Regulators, though, those can find us more lands, as can Maze Mind's Home. So one land should be get more lands. So what do you think about Planeswalkers in Commander? That's what kind of led to this. Because I almost never play Planeswalkers. So it looks like 65-ish% currently play Commander. 63% to... So roughly 2/3. 2/3 of the people in chat right now play Commander to some extent at least. Which, I guess that'd be about what I would have estimated, somewhere around there. Because my experience has been, unless you're playing like a Super Friends deck, I almost never play Planeswalkers because I feel like they just die so much. Like, that's been my experience. If I just throw a Planeswalker in a random deck, someone's gonna kill it or someone's gonna attack it. Oh, can we draw land? If we lose this, we actually get a sideboard next game. Our lack of sideboarding is really punishing us. Okay, Shatter Skull Smashing. And I think we'll just Maze Mind's Tome. Start scrying to hit our lands. We got a ways to go, although this Graph Digger's Cage could help. It does shut down the Citadel about it. Blood Artist. Well, scry for a land, please. Any land, no complaints. Oh, light up the Night Goggle bottom for now. We need our lands. Opponent gets a Blood Artist. Goes to another Blood Artist. And a Guild. Oh, Anger of the Gods. Land into Anger of the Gods would be the best when it hits us to 16. Well, Scry with Maze Mind still. I'm looking for a Landerino. All right, there's the land. So we get the land. We go to our main phase. We play the land. We play the Regulator. Remember, we are here in Twitch channel, YouTube website. Remember, here we are in Twitch channel with a website, YouTube channel who had a huge selection for Commander. Pretty logical to have more Commander players than non-Commander players. I mean, yeah, I think that's true. Although at the same time, like, we don't really play Commander on the stream. We do Commander Clash on the YouTube, and there's some Commander content, but we've never really been a Commander-focused stream. Chandra Acolyte of Flame. Down to 14. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh lord. Alright. Anger of the Gods right now? Maybe. Mindstone doesn't do it. Alright. Miracle Draw. Chandra. And dead. All right. Well, we did not sideboard. That was a real problem. Commander with view. Hey, what's up, awesome dude? How's the college life? All right, so we actually got a sideboard here. We got super punished for not sideboarding. So Maze Mind's Tome can go down. Maybe we just go down the Fire Artisan. We want all of our removal. We need the Grafdigger's Cages. But we also need to play the proper number of spells and lands. We got a little punished by not having enough lands last game. So, all right, go down one more Fire Artisan. Go down one Heart of Fire. Bring in the Anger of the Gods. Bring in the Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, go down the last Maze Mind's Tome. Run it like that. Okay, that looks better. That looks much better. Grafdigger's Cage and light up. Oh, that's a good point, Greg. That does shut down our combo kill, doesn't it? This hand is much more functional than the last one. I mean, hopefully the non-bow. So maybe what we do is try to wait on playing the Grafdigger's Cage. Wait on playing the Grafdigger's Cage until our opponent actually is close to Bolas's Citadel, or doing something that requires it rather than just running it out. That might be the best plan. Prosperous Innkeeper. Well, land Chandra.
It's my turn.
Tick it up. Regulator. Ooh, okay. Can you kill the Chandra, or do we get to have good times? Doubling up the ritual, like +3 mana with Chandra, Torch Defiance, and Regulator is kind of absurd about it. Hits the Chandra for 1. Sure. I'll take up Chandra for mana. Double it.
Yep, you're going down.
Chandra, Awakened Inferno. Is that right? How do we want to do this? 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Let's do this. Let's play Heart of Fire first. I'm worried about a collected company here, basically. Shock down the Innkeeper. No copying. This lets us leave a Bone Crusher if our opponent Coco's into something good. Pass the turn. Come on, show us a Coco. Show us the whip. All right, there's the Coco. What do they find? Every Goldfish employee could host a Commander viewer stream, and I'd watch all of them. I do think a viewer Commander game would be fun. The hard part is y'all are awesome, and there's a lot of you. That's the part I worry about with viewer Commander streams, is just how do we get everyone in? Like I already feel bad about it sometimes. Even just doing our normal viewer battle streams, that it's we can't get everyone in who wants to play. I couldn't imagine when it's like 2-hour Commander games. It would be really difficult to get everyone in. We have a new donation from Dan Wildfire. What's up, Doug? $2 donation. With Planeswalkers and EDH, I check their static abilities, if any. Ooh, Mayhem Devil. Okay. And losing that Regulator is actually annoying. Oh, okay, this is gonna be fine. This is fine. I check their static abilities, if any, and the abilities I can use as soon as they come into play. Emblems and ultimates are usually unrealistic. Examples, Samus the Tested in a dinosaur deck, or Ashiok Dreamrender in any Dimir deck. That makes sense. If you're using them kind of like a spell, where you're getting value out of them, or an enchantment, I guess, with the static abilities, I think that makes more sense. Trying to plan for the ultimate, unless you're doing like doubling siege and shenanigans, though, I think you're right. It is really, really difficult to actually build around a Planeswalker ultimate in Commander. I'll play the land. So if we play Mind Stone, we have 6 mana. Well, this is actually sweet. So play the Mind Stone. Chandra Awaken Inferno. Chandratron Assembled.
Get ready to meet my
Sweep your board.
or, you know, don't.
And then shock your face. Ooh. Chandra friends. Players with more points are more likely to be familiar with a goldfish playstyle. Ooh, channel points. Channel points is a good way to do it. Could tie into a charity stream. That would kind of be fun. A charity stream where we just do like an extra long. I've never done a 24-hour stream. I don't know. I might be too. I might be too old for a 24-hour stream. But that would be kind of fun to do a super long Commander marathon charity stream. How do we do this? So there's a Woe Strider. All right, so first off, let's... Actually, we can do it this way. So 1, 2. Hit your Woe Strider. For 2. Ping. And then tick up for mana.
Yup, you're going down.
Stomp your Woe Strider. Oh, Sextus Scry. We have more Chandras than our opponent has permanents almost at this point. Just getting back into Magic, I've got just enough wild cards for most decks. Not sure if I should craft a standard or historic deck. I do want to play a mid-range deck. Any suggestions? So Novark, I would say, let's draw some cards with this Chandra. I'll play Mobilized District. Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher. Go. I think we're in a pretty decent shape here. We'll see. They could Citadel us and just go off. But even if they do, we're like a light up the night away. So my advice would be, if you're thinking about getting into Standard, I would wait another couple weeks. Because spoiler season for Crimson Vow, Innistrad Crimson Vow, is starting... not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, the 28th. So we are almost to the point of getting another new standard set. So I would, oh my God, that's pretty good. So if you're thinking about that, I would say just wait. Historic, the only issue with Historic is it changes constantly. Like Historic, there's always bannings, there's always a new anthology, there's always a new set. So with limited wild cards, the only downside is stuff will change. I would say my overall advice, if you can wait for a couple more weeks, wait until we see Crimson Vow spoilers and then buy into, and then spend your wild cards buying into Standard. I think that's probably the best solution. Historic, if I had very limited wild cards, I would be nervous about playing it just because there's not a great chance that even the best decks in the format are going to stick around that long. Cool. All right, Citadel's fine. Opponent's only has 7 life. They can't go that far. Oh God. Okay, Innkeeper. They might be able to go a little farther than we thought. Land. Oh, oh my goodness, those are hits. Okay, opponent for free. Wow, if they pull this off with 7 life, I will be amazed. So they get 1 free. Collected company to 1. No way. No way. No way. Not happening. Skullport, Rexage. Going for a Mind Stone, so we will sack the Mind Stone. Draw a card. Okay. Opponent gets a treasure, goes back to 3. Shuffle. Watch our opponent actually do this. Yeah, I guess we should have got in with the creature land. Opponent did have mana up, but we got enough mana. I mean, if we untap, we just win. Llanowar for free. This can't keep happening. They gotta hit something big eventually. I mean, I guess our opponent knows they're dead if they fizzle. So they just have to go as far as possible and hope for the best. Draws the card. If our opponent had more life, they might have got us from here. At my LGS, my daughter had an opponent put 1,000,000 tokens on the battlefield. An opponent goes out of their own terms, and Chandra Tribal's kind of killing it. It's kind of feeling legit. Wow, this might be the best historic deck we've played in a minute, for sure. Hey Seth, I still want a charity stream where fans buy through an auction all the GOAT Magic decks, and then we play them in a tournament. Prizes could be hanging with the Goldfish crew at Vegas next year. All proceeds go to the favorite charity. Would be super fun. Goldfish crew and viewers would all be part of the tournament. We can have multiple channels. That would be fun. That actually sounds really sweet. I know something that, would you be interested in this? This is something that's been kind of stewing in the back of my mind for a while, and I've been thinking about. The person who keeps against the odds stats has talked to me about it. One thing I think would be fun is like an against the odds tournament featuring some sort of like against the odds bracket. I think that could also be a fun like charity event or some sort of event. I haven't really worked out the details, but would that be something that you would be interested in watching if I did actually make it happen? You like the idea, Jank Jesus? I think it could be fun. I don't know what it would look like. The easy way to do it is do it like when Crim and I did, the band bracket tournament. That would be the easy way to do it. Like, just get two people. Yeah. I mean, I think we just got to do this now since we can. Kill this Pride Dragon. Ooh, Infinite Navigator. But that could be cool. And now we have like MTG Melee, so there would actually be ways to set it up like a kind of real tournament. Ooh, are you going to Gen Con, Kimberly? I have actually honestly never been to Gen Con. Should I try to go to Gen Con at some point? Like, how does Gen Con, if you've been to Gen Con, let me know, how's it compare to, like, I don't know, GP Vegas or something, like a big Magic event? I know what big Magic events are like. I've been to those, but I've never been to Gen Con. I watched your video of your standard Delver deck a few days ago and inspired me to brew a modern style Delver bird. Haven't play tested it, but here's hopes. Ooh, that sounds sweet. I'd love to see your list once you get it done. What deck do you think would win? My guess would be 36 Rhinos. Ugh. In all against the odds meta, I have no idea. I think there's a chance when it's all against the odds decks fighting each other that some janky combo deck will just the rest of the against the odds decks will not match up with it very well, and it'll just kind of like crush the field and pick up the win. I think that's a possibility. Well, all right. Play a land. Maze Mind's Tome, number 2. Ooh. Pass the turn. About it. I'm going to opt, slinging the spells, looking for presumably Arclight Phoenixes. I mean, I think the Rhino deck would be good. The Sorin, some of the Planeswalker tribal decks, the Gideon tribal deck was really good. So there's certainly, new perspectives. Memer Dream Tournament. Have I been to SawCon? Is that like based on the horror movies? Ooh, all right. Well, Chandra could answer this if our opponent doesn't have counters. What is SawCon? Build a bracket like you did for the band tournament, then auction off the decks with people knowing how the bracket is stacked. Ooh, that could be interesting. I think the auctioning off decks for charity is an interesting twist that I hadn't really thought of. I like that idea. That seems like a good way for oh my god. Oh, you got me. You got me. Is that you, Dixie? Is that you, Dixie? That was the worst one. If you stream for any amount of time, this is gonna happen to you. But the worst one by far. I don't know how many of you were here in the old days. This is years ago now. How many of you remember Dixie? Dixie had, I don't even want to repeat the actual Twitch name because that gives it away, but there was a user that came in. Was it you, Tube Lupin? Did you used to be Dixie? Yeah, so Dixie, I mean, you can put your old name in chat if you want to, so people see what it was, because I don't want to say it. But anyway, the name was very, I guess, adult themed, let's say, and it completely got me. I was completely oblivious to it because people kept saying, I kept saying it because they subbed and I kept shouting it out, and people kept like making a big deal about it. I just kept reading it again and again and again because it did not connect in my brain what the actual string of words meant. So I said it like 20 times in a row. All right, so oh no. Who plays Spell Pierce? It's 2021. Who plays Spell Pierce? Come on now. Well, at least now I got by a D's nuts joke. About it. It says 15. We draw land while we play the land. Well, you're not gonna counter this. Yeah, let's play Big Chandra. Would you like to Spell Pierce, opponent? Where's your Spell Pierce now, buddy? All right.
The immolation sensation.
Oh, the question is, how far do we go? Oh, do we just gotta go 6? Oh, how can we do this? How can we do this? I would like to keep Chandra alive. 5? Take a risk with 5. All right, let's go 5. Come on. I'm worried about like, oh, opt, consider, and then it's a 6/6, and then we're very sad. Come on. Please just die, prowess thing. Stormwing is a tough card. I feel like Stormwing gets me in a lot of formats. Being 5 mana, it dodges Fatal Push, and then it gets Prowess to get around Lightning Bolts, and... Alright, sure. Well, Chandra was dying anyway, so that's fine. Alright, we're at 15. We're mostly stable. Opponent's only got 2 cards in hand. There's not a Horde of Arclight Phoenix smashing our face. We get to untap. Ooh, Chandra's Triumph is nice. Well, let's draw us a card and gain some life. Back up to 19. Mobilize District. Play a Chandra's Regulator. Pass the turn. Okay, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Pass the turn. About it. Oh, so Pioneer is Pioneer kind of dead at the moment? I did a Pioneer video, and maybe it is people just. Am I gonna bounce the Regulator? Sure. Yeah, you got us. What's the most played deck in Pioneer? I actually don't know. My guess would be Jund Sacrifice. But we haven't had many big tournaments to get data from. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that we did a Pioneer. I did a Pioneer video and played the Winota Werewolves deck, and it wasn't very popular. I was thinking, it seems like Pioneer is a format where the people who love Pioneer really love Pioneer, and they're going to be there commenting and watching every video. But a lot of people seem to be tuning it out, which is just a little sad because Pioneer was so sweet when it first came out, which I guess is like 2 years ago now. But I mean, I still like it too, but it's just overall popularity in the community is kind of dropped. The deck, your deck the other day made Control look real bad. Yeah, we smacked that Control deck. I mean, a turn 3 Winota, especially with Werewolves, oh boy, that is pretty good against Control. We just ran over him. Opponent's gonna hit us for 3, sure. Down to 16. Faithless Salvaging. So opponent's only got 2 mana up. No Arc Lights. We have removal. Oh, discards a Spell Pierce. Okay. Well, here we go. Draw a card. Delver. All right, so draw a card. Get a regulator. Untap. Land. Regulator. What's going to be good? Regulator. Chandra. Shock. Delver. Copy it. Shall Brazen Borrower. Oh, the Wrath of Chandra. Both creatures down. Pass the turn. Light up the night. Hanging out if we can get some more loyalty going. Currently 6. Don't unholy heat it. Whoa! Bonus scoops in. Chandra Tribal's crushing people. Crushing people. I don't know why they didn't put Pioneer in Arena. It would boost his paper popularity so much. I agree. I still think that they need to put it on Arena. Yeah, this deck has just been insane. It's been really, really good. I still think that they need to put it on Arena. My dream for, well, obviously, my overall dream would be they put Modern on there, they put Legacy and Vintage, and it's got everything on there. That's probably a pipe dream, or at least it's going to take a really long time. For the short term, my dream for Arena is you have Historic as the Wild West. You have Historic be the format where there's digital-only cards. Things are being changed. All kinds of crazy, the anthologies are coming in, Jumpstart's being released. All kinds of crazy stuff is happening. The format's changing every couple of weeks, every month. And it's just the Wild West digital-only format. That's awesome. But for that to work, I think you also need the boring old Pioneer, the paper format that hardly ever changes, and it gets new cards when a new set comes out, and it's tied to paper Magic. I think that is what we want. I think that's the best of both worlds. Then we have this crazy digital-only experience, but we also still have that tie-in to paper, the traditional slower pacing. If you're someone who doesn't want digital-only cards, or you're worried about, we were talking earlier, like, what do I spend my wild cards on? I don't have very many. If you're someone who does have a limited number of wild cards, maybe you buy into Pioneer instead of Historic because it's going to be more stable. It's not going to change as much. If you're someone who has enough wild cards or wants that digital only chaotic experience, then you buy into Historic. Then everyone's happy. That's like the perfect solution. Wizards makes more money. Players play more Magic. Players aren't going to be complaining about the digital only cards because they have another option. Like that I think is where we want to be. So yeah, that's what I would like to see. Oh, we have way too much graveyard hate. We as much as powerful as the deck has been, we definitely have a messed up sideboard, for sure. We definitely don't need 6 graveyard hate spells. That is a touch excessive. I forgot we added in Soul Guide Lantern, and then someone said Grafdigger's Cage, which I do think is correct or very good in the deck, but do people even play the Hearthstone cards in Historic? Yeah, to some extent. What is the best of the... What is the current best of the Hearthstone cards? They don't show up that often, that is for sure. X +1. All right, so this should kill the Delver, right? X 0 + 1 is 1. Am I reading this wrong? You're making me nervous by making me click to confirm. Light up the night deals X damage to any target. It deals X +1 if that target is a creature or planeswalker. All right. Well, 0 + 1 is dead Delver, I think. Okay. That does work. I don't know why they made me confirm. Always makes me nervous when they make you confirm. It's like, oh, am I doing something wrong? Where can I find a list of... Oh, we don't have a removal spell for that, do we? Well, that could be an issue. Mines don't go. I'm trying to find a list of the digital only cards. I do think they... Okay, here they are. Here they are on Draftism. So what if these cards actually see play? No, yes. Shoreline Scout sees a lot of play. Tome of the Infinite sees some play. Davriel and Davriel's Withering saw a lot of play with the Vesper Lark combo, which is now pretty much banned. Subversive Acolyte, I still think it's possible it sees play. Mana Gorger Phoenix, I do see in red decks. Static Discharge, I have seen in burn decks. Freyalise does see play in elf decks. So, Faceless Agent shows up in some weird tribal decks. So some of them do see play. There are some that do indeed really actually see play. Okay, no Spell Pierce.
Let's do this.
I mean, this is painful, but we gotta kill things. We gotta kill things however we can, no matter how painful it might be. So they haven't like dominated the format, but they do see some real amount of play. Opponent, Expressive Iteration, gonna draw some cards. Gonna need another removal spell. Yeah, Faceless Agent I think got better with the buffs, and that's the other thing is Wizards has shown that they are willing to change these cards. So just because they might not see a ton of play right now doesn't mean they'll never see play, because who knows when Wizards will suddenly give them more power or something. Opponent gonna kill the Chandra.
Well, that was a disaster.
Oh, that is huge for us. So Mind Stone. Chandra's Triumph. Wow, we managed to answer it. All right. Threat dealt with. Pass the turn. Stayed alive, stayed alive. We answered a lot of threats this game. About it. Expressive Iteration. Gonna draw some cards. Has Wizards changed any of those cards? Yeah, 5 of them have been changed so far. So on this list, Faceless Agent is now a 2/2 rather than a 2/1. Davriel and Davriel's Withering got nerfed to only target your opponent's creatures, so they can't be combo pieces anymore. Sarkhan's 0 ability of conjuring a Shivan Dragon turned into a +1, and Subversive Acolyte went from a 2/2 to a 2/3, and from double black to 1 and a black. So yeah, they've changed 5 of them so far. DRC. About it. Passes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, play the land. Chandra. Shoot down a Dragon Rage Channeler. Pass the turd. We just keep sniping stuff as much as we can. But oh my god, opponent has so many Expressive Iterations. Is that the 3rd one in a row? Opponent just keeps drawing through the deck. Gets a land in the graveyard to turn out the Dragon Rage Channeler. That's concerning. That is something that we didn't really want to see. Yeah, Chandra Rebel's been great. Like, this deck might actually be competitive. Might have to do a video of this one. How are you feeling about Historic? That's the other form. We're talking about Pioneer. We talked about Pioneer not being super popular right now overall, but having a very dedicated fan base. What do you think about Historic? Historic, the thing that concerns me is the question keeps coming up. What's up with the Historic metagame page? Why isn't it updating or whatever? And the answer has been people haven't been playing Historic. Like, we finally got the pizza box open to add some deck lists, but if you look at the last month, there have been 2 tournaments that have at least 10 players, which is not a whole lot. I mean, I guess there hasn't been any SCG qualifiers or anything. It probably partly because of new standard and that tournament shifting to focus on new standard rather than Historic. But how are you feeling about Historic? Is Historic dying at all in the way that Pioneer is? Or is it just purely like set release, everyone focused on standard, and that's why we haven't seen more Historic events recently? I think that the set release is certainly at least a big part of it. All right, Dragon's Rage. About it. Gonna kill the Chandra. Got an Unholy Heat. Untap land. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anger of the Gods is the best. Can we somehow find an Anger of the Gods? One to the top. Opponent passes. Come on, deck. Show us that anger. Mobilize district. Okay, so is there any way of doing it without? So we play Mobilize District. Get a cheer from the crowd. How can we do this? So we can Little Chandra, flashback a burn spell, but there's still 2 Dragon Rage Channelers. We can not play Chandra. I think we just gotta, yeah. Draw 3. Hope to hit big Chandra or an anger. Well, okay. I mean, I guess this isn't the worst. Why is this not working? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, what is happening? Are we gonna time out trying to resolve 6 mana? Oh, I see. I see. I got you. No, this is... It doubles if you cast it for that amount of mana. All right. You're right, chat. You got it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You got me. It took me a minute, but you saved me. If we win this, chat, I will thank you in my acceptance speech. Along with my mom, Jesus, I don't know. I haven't figured out the whole speech yet. I'm working on it. But you will be in there, I promise you. Opponent considers. Yeah, I guess the twice is what I was missing there. Yeah, if you cast it for 6 or more, you get twice as much. About it. It's the Chandra. No. Stop the DRC. I feel like if they could have killed the Chandra... Alright, opponent negates. If they could have killed the Chandra, I feel like they would have killed the Chandra by now. Scry 0 to the top, 0 to the bottom. I don't know how that works. Well, discard our hand, draw some cards.
It's now or never.
Mountain. Chandra. Kill it.
Over here.
Regulator.
Now you're playing with fire.
I can't believe we're in this game. Our opponents played a lot of threats, and we're staying in it. This deck has been kind of insane. Hey, what's up, Goodio? How are you? Unfortunately, I definitely appreciate the raid. Although you're raiding pretty close to the end, this might be our last match. Although we probably broke historic. I think we have broken historic with with Chandra Tribal. I mean, 3-0, obviously broken. How's life, Andrew? How are things? I think I'm coming around to your position. Well, not all the way to worst standard of all time, but I have come around to the idea that that maybe changes wouldn't be the worst thing. Dragon Mindstone. Well, there's the anger that we wanted for a million turns. We don't really need it at the moment. Mindstone. Well, land. Thank you for the raid and welcome raiders. The bugbear, get in there. Hit you. We actually got a turn 5 light up the night kill. 20 damage on turn 5 with light up the night. The card is actually kind of insane in this deck. Yeah, we have let our opponent cast every iteration. They are all gone. Our opponent has played most of the threats in their deck at this point. Multiple DRCs, multiple Stormwings, Delver, Sprite Dragon, DRC, Stormwing, DRC. Yeah, we have gotten through like half the threats in our opponent's deck, I would say. Let's discard the Anger. Little Chandra. Oh, there's a bigger Chandra. Well, okay, bigger Chandra. Is your last card a counter? Yes. Alright, but opponent's out of cards, so that's fine. We get to Shattered Skull Smashing. Untapped. Chandra.
Won't lie.
Snapcaster, a Chandra's Triumph. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no! No. Oh my god, we're gonna lose because of that. Crud. Oh. Wow. I thought it was asking to auto pay for us to cast the Chandra's Triumph. But I guess it was asking if we wanted to auto pay for Chandra's Regulator. Well, that's a unfortunate twist. If we had killed that Stormwing, I think we were in really good shape. But as it is, our shape is not as good. Wow, that was so brutal. I think we're actually going to lose because of that. I mean, I guess it's kind of a punt. I mean, it is a punt. Although, I don't know. I sometimes have a hard time considering digital client weirdness a punt in the same way that, like, messing up something in an actual game of Magic is a punt. Although, I guess they probably both qualify as punts. Hit, you make a token. Oh, we are going to lose because of that. Our opponent would have 0 threats. Like, our opponent would just have nothing on the battlefield, and we'd easily be winning. Wow, what a way to lose. What a way to lose. Well, Field of Ruin. Get rid of the Den of the Bugbear. Oh, Brutality. Get a Mountain. Den of the Bugbear. Oh, watch us lose our undefeated record right at the end of the streak because of that. But it goes to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, you know what we need is a big Chandra and then light up the night. Bone Crusher. Not the worst. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Den of the Bugbear. Go to combat. About it. Braids. Well, we will stomp the Sprite Dragon. Lose our Den of the Bugbear. Hit ya. Opponent blocks. Bone Crusher. Or are we gonna overcome the punt for the undefeated record? Land. Passes. GG's. Mobilize District. Mobilize District. Hit ya. Oh, the deck is good enough to overcome the punt. Ooh. Well, I will say, Chandra Tribal's kind of insane. People asked for a Super Friends deck. We decided to brew one on stream, and the deck just kind of absolutely cursed people. We overcame the misclick. We overcame the punt to pick up the win, and I would recommend this deck. I kind of want to play this deck. I kind of want to play this deck more in the future because the deck is fun, it's unique, and obviously small sample size. But in our small sample size, it actually felt really competitive. Like this was kind of just stomping people. Why not cast tap it into the Bugbear for mana to cast the Stomp? Yeah, we could have cast it then. I don't think it actually really made a difference, did it? Maybe it did, with Spell Pierce being a thing. I was thinking that we were in combat anyway, but we can still cast instants during combat. So I gotta say, I absolutely love this deck. This is one of my favorite historic decks we have played in quite a while. And it actually felt really competitive. So if you're looking for something different to play at historic and have a million wild cards to spend on Chandras, this deck is gonna cost to read rare, mythic, rare. Mythic, rare, mythic, rare. Oh my, this might be the most expensive deck in the history of the format, but oh, no Amonkhet Chandra. Wait, what Chandra? Are we missing a Chandra? Oh no, we have Amonkhet Chandra, right? Hang on. What is Amonkhet Chandra? We don't have uncommon Chandra because that one doesn't really do anything. We don't have Planeswalker deck Chandra. Yeah, I feel like we basically... Oh, Pyromaster. Oh, we didn't have Pyromaster. Yeah, Pyromaster I like, but it's kind of usually bad Chandra Torture Defiance. And I forgot that it was actually on Arena because I don't own any copies of it. But yeah, the deck is super sweet. The deck is super sweet. On that note, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for tonight. However, there's good news. There's always good news. The good news is our next stream is on Thursday night. So we're going to be back then to have some more fun. Also tomorrow, seriously, the Against Odds, if you're a fan of Modern, check out the YouTube tomorrow, the Against Odds deck. It's one of the ones I've been happiest with in a while. Like, it's a sweet deck. It's a sweet Modern deck with stuffy dolls and shenanigans, and it's really fun. So if you're looking for some action tomorrow on the YouTube, I would definitely check it out because it's certainly a sweet one. Otherwise, merch page, check that out. One more reminder that our sponsor is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know that you want one, and they'll hook you up. They're super cool like that. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Seriously, y'all are awesome. I look forward to hanging out and streaming every Tuesday and Thursday and Monday. So seriously, I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing and awesome and spectacular. And I hope you have an amazing night. I hope you have a spectacular Wednesday. And we'll be back Thursday to have some more fun. So until then, also thank you to Cuneo for the raid. So until then, everyone, have an amazing night. Y'all are awesome, and I will see you on Thursday.